And I've got Jeffrey Neville in here. Excuse me, Jeffrey Neville from Selective Imagery already, and the Moz Man making an appearance for everybody. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Doing good.
Pretty good. Sorry for eating, but I'm just finishing my lunch here.
Don't be sorry, man. That's fine. You know me, I'm always eating something while I'm on live stream.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, I wish you could like pass a cookie through the screen once in a while.
Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
M&Ms.
Yeah, or some M&Ms, because I'm an M&M peanut guy as well. So,
All right, good deal. So I'm back from my 10 or 11-day trip, and I got back night before last. Yesterday was all just getting everything back in order, returning the rental car, picking up my cat from the sitter, and just actually just relaxing for a minute. I've probably put, I think, 2,800 miles or so, maybe a little less, on the rental car over the last 10 or so days, and I'm ready for a break. But it was a great time. I had a great time. Had a great time at my reunion. Had a great time with my kids. So it's good to be back. I missed you guys.
Yeah, it was kind of weird not having the routine got broken. I'm not used to that.
Yeah, that's what Vahagan was saying. He was talking about that too. Gustavo, how you doing? Daryl, yep, Mr. Mozman on location today. James, J-Rod Photo Art, how you doing, buddy? Martin Hild, all right.
Yeah, nobody really realizes that we're actually twins, but one of us was blessed with hair. One of us was not blessed with hair.
Maybe I can stand behind Jeff and look like he actually has hair.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Ted, good afternoon. Long Rider, tell Mozman it's unprofessional to eat on camera. Well, I missed his. Thanks, Ted.
We're in stream here.
dual streaming. All right. Oh, everybody talking about you, Mozman. Good to see you in there.
Thank you. Good to be here.
All right. We're going to have a good time today, I can see. Roy, how you doing? Thanks. It's good to be back. And James says it's unprofessional to not share. So maybe we should put out a list for the afternoon show. Everybody, this is what we're eating today. Make sure you have it on hand.
We'll send you a virtual sandwich.
A virtual sandwich, yeah. All right, man, it's good to be back. Glad to know everybody missed it, because I know I did. Not being able to keep up with you guys, and definitely not being able to keep up with anything going on YouTube. So I guess there's been some things that have happened, nothing that we want to see or hear right now. But yeah, it's just nice to get back in the swing of things, because I'm definitely out of the know on what's been going on in the YouTube community. Oh.
No, they're just leaning.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
The Nikon set?
Oh, they're hung up.
Yeah, they're hung up.
Yeah, Mozman's trying to steal my Nikon signs.
A photo says I stared at YouTube for an hour last week until I remembered you were gone. Yeah. So I want to apologize too, because I know that I said I would be on last Wednesday, but circumstances dictated I wouldn't be on, meaning all my buddies that I worked with over the years in SF had other plans for the day. So anyway, I missed that, and I'm sorry. I think I told everybody I wouldn't be on Saturday night. I was with the kids and the grandkids, and we had a fantastic time. It just went by too quick. But it's good to be home in the sense that I'm tired of driving, because it seems like that's all I did from location to location. James, what's printed on your shirt? That's my old detachment that I was on, my Halo detachment, military free fall detachment, ODA 524. Long Rider, I have some nerve. Okay, I'm ready for you talking about missing the Wednesday live stream? I suppose so. But Long Rider, I want to thank you. Long Rider had given me a camera to give to my granddaughter when I talked about getting my granddaughter a camera. And over the weekend, she has turned into quite the little photographer. So I want to thank Long Rider for sending that. She is one happy camper, which of course makes me happy. All she did is take photos all weekend with it and want to show me. So it was just fantastic. So I'm going to have her in the show here on one Saturday night. Once she gets the hang of it and gets some photos built up, I'm going to have her in here for one of our photo reviews. Rakesh was missing the live streams. Well, that's good to hear, man. I'm glad to hear that people missed it because it means that everybody enjoys it. Godspeed, Grampy. Yep. Thanks again, Long Rider. She absolutely loves the camera. She's a pro now. She's got a real camera. So for those of you that don't know, Long Rider had an A7 somebody had given to him, and he asked me if I wanted it. And of course, I said, sure. So my granddaughter is shooting Sony, folks. Nothing wrong with that, though. She had a great time. Well, he gave me a Nikon too. He gave me a Nikon D7000, which I'd asked him if he minded what I did with it. And he said, absolutely not. You do whatever you want. So I'm trying to figure out, find somebody in need of a camera that doesn't have one at the moment, but wants to get back into photography or whatever and can't afford a camera. I want to make sure it goes to a good home so that somebody can enjoy it. Let's see. So James is asking if I've ever done any of the whale watching tours or boats or whatever. No, I haven't. And you'll be up here in Maine next year. Man, that ought to be a great trip. You ought to enjoy that. And Kevin Nordstrom. 1st Battalion, 1st of the 17th Field Artillery, 4th ID. All right, man. Thank you for your service, Kevin. That's great. And I am somewhat a red legger too, because I joined the Army to go to the Ranger Battalion. And at the time, the only thing open was 13 Foxtrot, which is a forward observer for artillery, air, and naval gunfire. But anyway, joined the Ranger Battalion as a forward observer. And soon after I got there, all of us had to, we got to OJT for 11 Bravo. So I picked up the secondary 11 Bravo and did more of that than I did forward observer. So there you have it, Kevin. I'm not a gun frog, but I am a forward observer, buddy. That doesn't mean anything to most people in here.
So Paul got 24 to 120 F4. So did you use your Paybu card so you could cry on the way out, or what? Paybu.
Yeah. Oh, so Long Rider says, hey, tell the truth. I bought a Sony for my granddaughter. Long Rider, you weren't supposed to tell that part of it, man. Oh.
Chuck is making the switch next week, but he's keeping it quiet. Oops.
Yeah, there you go. I'm going to do my switch video. I'm tired of waiting for the Z8.
Yeah. Tired of waiting for the 2 to 600, the 600 F4, the 85 1.2. You can go on and on and on.
Yeah. So you just mentioned it, Jeff, but Paul did buy the 1 to 400 or 24 to 120. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said 1 to 400. He loves it. And I think it's everybody that's reviewed that lens says the same thing. And it's great to see that it's really beginning to show up in stock. So is the 1 to 400. I just saw Amazon. I don't know if they still have them, but somebody had posted, I think it was Nikon Rumors said Amazon had the 1 to 400, or maybe it was the 24 to 120. I'm not sure. Alan Barnes from Kent, UK. Welcome, Alan. Good to see you. Perfect time of the day for you guys over there, just after 5 p.m. So I did try to catch up with quite a few things last night and this morning. It seems the embargo was lifted on the Sony FX30 that nobody, or I didn't know about. A Super 35 video-centric camera, which is very interesting. It actually looks pretty good. And at $1,800 for the body only, that's a pretty good deal for a video camera doing 4K 120, mind you. Also comes with a handle that you can attach to the top and turn it into a true video-centric camera. No OVF or EVF on it, so it's not a photographer's camera. However, it will take stills. I watched Potato Jet's review of it, and he was talking to a guy that's a Canon shooter, and he asked the guy, what he thought about it, the Canon shooter, and the guy said, I don't care. He said, does it take photos? And I guess Potato Jet said, who cares about photos? And he goes, well, I don't want it then. So, but who knows, man? Who knows? It's going to be a pretty good seller, I think. It begs the question, will Nikon do something similar with a camera, some camera model, one of the numbers remaining, or the APS-C Z90? I know a lot of people hope they don't, and hope it's a Z500 or D500 lookalike or very similar specs, but I don't know. So let's see. Paul Connor says his first MOS was 11 Bravo 2 Papa. I don't know what the 11 Bravo Papa is. Oh, yeah, I do. 11 Bravo NCO airborne qualified. Got it, Paul. Took me a minute. It's been a while. Ray Powell, I see Nikon waiting for you to go on holiday to announce the Z8 March next year. Yeah, the thing is, though, Ray, do we know that it's going to be March? Do we definitively know it's not going to be next month? I don't know, but I'll tell you, I'm leaning towards it not being the Z8 in October, but I still say a camera's coming, and I'm leaning more towards the Z6 III. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I think that they're going to bring a lower price camera into the lineup. Excuse me, with all the features, not all the features. When I say that, I don't mean identical to the Z9, but with the AF features and some other things from the Z9 to get it in the hands of buyers. I think they even realize that it's time to start filling the lineup in the cameras here. So I don't know how you guys feel. We'll get into that in just a bit.
You follow Nigel Danson's site at all? Chuck, he's a landscape photographer.
I have watched his videos, but I have not subscribed to him. So what's he saying?
Well, he put one out this morning. He reviewed the Nikon, the 17-28 lens that just came out. But
okay.
he ends up he spreads out all the lenses that he uses for landscape photography. And he kind of goes over, he loves the 14-30. He loves the 24-120 for landscape photography.
Yeah.
And so he went on the beach and he shot a lot of images with a multitude of Nikon glass. So it's a good view if people want to just kind of like see why this guy likes certain lenses for landscapes. And and he has the the 14-24 2.8 and so he has the fast glass as well. But he does a lot of shooting with that 24-120 f4. He really likes it a lot.
Yeah. So how do you guys feel on the third-party glass? And look, I don't typically buy any third-party glass. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but I typically stick with Nikon brand glass. But I know a lot of people loved the Tamron, what was it, the G series, G1, G2 Tamron lenses for Nikon, and that was for DSLR. But a lot of people bought that 24-70 G rather than going the Nikon route and swear by it. So I guess what I'm getting at here is, I'm not opposed to Tamron or Nikon even rebadging some of these lenses. And I know they're going to try to give us Nikon shooters a hard time. Nikon can't build their own lenses and they've got to have Tamron do it and blah, blah, blah. But if that 28-75, I know that, we know the 28-75 is a pretty daggone good lens. But what is it, the 17-35 or what is it that Nikon's talking about. The rumors are it's going to be a rebadged lens, Nikon Tamron lens.
That one you got me. I'm not sure on that one. I mean, if they just came out with a 17 to 28, I don't know why they would come out with one that goes out to 35 unless it's their own lens, because they had a F mount 17 to 35, I believe, did they not?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was a pretty popular lens too.
Yeah.
I think it will be in the Nikon camp too, whether it's rebadged Nikon or Tamron. Mozman, chime in.
I don't know. You know what? I really don't buy third-party glass, so
Okay.
Tamron or Sigma, or the only third-party lens I actually even own right now is the Laowa 100 macro that I bought before Nikon came out with their macros, just because I wanted something Z mount.
Okay, how's that worked out?
Well, since I got the Nikons, I haven't even used it. I used it. I used it a little bit. Really nothing for nothing professional, just for fun. Took it out, shot some flowers, some bugs, some things like that, some product shots. But it's a great lens, but it's manual focus, so it's a lot nicer to have that on.
Yeah. So I jumped on with Amar last night for just a few minutes. He asked me if I wanted to jump in, and we got somebody in the green room over here. I hope he's enjoying all the snacks I set up, and having a cool beverage. But I'm going to bring in Mr. Pollard, and I'll continue this. Mr. Pollard, welcome, sir. Let me finish my thought, and then we're going to talk to you. I don't even know where I was. I can't finish my thought because it's now gone. Oh, well.
What they call a fleeting memory.
Yes. It wasn't important if I can't remember it, right? Thank you, Albert. I need to get you on the show. If you got your studio ready, we want to set it up and talk about all these adapters. There are already people talking about adapting lenses, so definitely want to get you on and answer all the questions for people that want to adapt lenses. It's kind of funny that you popped up and we're talking about third-party lenses. I think that might have been strategic on your part.
The only third-party lens that I still have is a Tokina 16 to 28 f2.8 F mount lens that I really like a lot.
So I'm looking over. I've got the stream running on another computer so I can see the comments over there, which goes a whole lot faster than the comments I'm definitely trying to get through here. As usual, I'm way behind, but I saw Ted talking about the 24 to 70 2.8 G lens Tamron that he bought, says is extremely sharp, and that was for F mount. So
I mean, I think third-party glass, whether we on the panel would tend to use it or not, doesn't really matter, because I think you need to have it, because you need to have choices for everyone, choices that are different price points. Not everybody. Some people are strictly fair weather photographers. They don't want to spend the extra money to have a weather sealed lens and extra costs that you occur when you get a lens like that. And so it's nice to have choices, and if that helps bring people into the brand, then it's nothing but a positive.
You just touched on a point too about weather sealing. A lot of people kind of get wrapped around the axle about weather sealing. Don't get me wrong. I think it's fantastic, buy lenses, cameras, whatever that are weather sealed. But some people really don't need weather sealing.
Yeah.
So, I understand them saying, hey, look, I'm not worried about it. I'm buying this lens or whatever, this brand lens or whatever. And everybody will jump in, well, it's not weather sealed. Well, maybe they don't care because they don't ever shoot in weather or whatever.
I mean,
still, it would be nice to have, but I think we make too much out of that sometimes for people. We go with our own preferences and try to steer everybody down the road of buying what we would buy. I don't know.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't sit at home and say, oh, there's a big thunderstorm coming at 2:00. Let me run out in the middle of the road with my camera and get wet. I want to get some pictures.
let's face it, a lot of people are just fair weather shooters, and there's nothing wrong with that either if you're a hobbyist or you shoot only in a studio or indoors. So, yeah, I don't know why I'm on this kick. After this trip this weekend, I had a lot of time to think as I'm driving and thinking about all the things we complain about or all the things that we make fun of or whatever, when there are people out there that just don't have the same preferences or needs that we might have or want rather than need. Mr. Pollard, how are you this afternoon, sir?
Oh, no.
No audio. Are you muted?
I don't want to have to hold this up, Ron. I don't want to have to hold this sign up. And that one's just for you, buddy, because we care. We care, man.
I still don't hear you.
I kind of like it when somebody could be swearing at you and you can't hear them.
Yeah.
In my studio.
No. There you go.
Okay.
You know what, Ron? I'm going to make
now?
a suggestion, and you're going to get upset, but you need to get your son involved with this and let him do it, buddy. We're just not that technical anymore at our age.
Yeah, you get to a certain age, the wiring up here kind of gets messed up too. You know, I mean, everything is sloping curve, man.
Bring in the video.
Home, it would be okay.
All right.
Okay.
Well, you know what? Yeah, I hate that. Man, we got to get this ironed out. I mean, even from the hotel the other day, I was able to stream. I was really happy about that using the Cam Link. And I used the Rode Go mic setup. And I mean, it was simple, quick, and easy, and it worked. It's not the best audio in the world, but it works.
I hope I'm not at my studio. I'm in my studio. I'll go back. I'll just go back to.
All right, buddy. All right. Good to see you, though. Come back in if you get something figured out or you change locations or whatever. Definitely jump back in here. All right. God bless you, Ron. All right. Well, there you go. Audio is everything. Everybody talks about video and wanting this and the sharpest picture in the world. Guess what? None of that matters if the audio is bad.
On a good news front, finally,
yes, sir.
I had to call Nikon service on Friday, and I had to say, look, guys, I keep going to your Nikon USA website. I keep putting in the information to get an update on my 500 PF lens repair that's been waiting parts forever. And I said, you won't let me log in. And I've tried 4 times over the last couple days. And so finally the guy says, well, what's your service number? Gave him the number. And so Friday, the part finally arrived. And I was able to check this morning, and it's actually shipped and on its way. And I should finally get my lens back by tomorrow night.
All right.
That only took about 5 weeks, 4.5 weeks, which maybe, all things considered, with the way things are in the world today, I shouldn't complain too much about 4.5 weeks, but when it's your primary lens, it causes a great deal of pain.
Oh, you're absolutely right. All right. So we got Vahagan in here, audio only. That's fine. Mr. Vahagan, how are you, sir? And congrats on the ellipsing the 10K mark on YouTube.
Testing 1 2. Check.
You're
check,
working, man.
You shouldn't be swearing, man. What's this?
What's up?
Chat. Did he say chat?
Jack.
Or did he say something else?
Check 1 2.
Check.
Oh, check. Okay.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Chuck. Hey, is that a Mossman sighting? I see
That is a Mossman sighting.
He does exist. He's like M&M's. He does exist.
I'm like Sasquatch.
What's up, brothers?
Yeah.
Mossman's a world traveler now, or at least the U.S. traveler.
What's going on, man? You guys hanging out again, huh?
Yep, hanging out.
He's
That's
kind
cool.
enough to make a visit, even though I've been handicapped and have not been able to shoot in a week. But maybe, if we get lucky, we might be able to get out once anyway before he heads back home. So we'll see. We'll have to see what the weather does. The next 2.5 days are going to be a little rocky.
You know, Maz, I was going to do the same thing if our schedules had lined up. Well, you were flying into, I think you were flying into Raleigh, as a matter of fact, weren't you?
Flying into Wilmington, but
Oh,
only
okay.
about an hour away. So
Yeah. I was going to try to link up with you and do a duel from the hotel. But anyway, I'm glad to see you on here with Jeffrey. This is great. I think this is what makes the community, this kind of stuff that we wind up doing. Vahagan.
What up?
So, have you received any great accolades for your accomplishment yet from YouTube or anything?
All the time, man.
Okay,
They
good.
sent him a little paper certificate. They said, "Congratulations."
Yeah. It's just you know YouTube guys. But hey, things in here. What Vitali's in here. Have you seen
Is
Vitali's Z9 video?
yeah, very good. It was very good.
Very good one, yeah.
Absolutely. Vitali's in here. I haven't followed I'm not down to the bottom yet. I'm still, as usual, way behind on. Oh, I can see that Nikon's in here also. Ronald's joined the chat. That's Ronald Pollard. A lot of you guys talking. Great. Love that. Vitali, I sent you a link. If you're available, you're welcome to join us as well. I don't know. You may be working and just dropping in for a minute. Here we go, guys, with having to pass up comments. Go ahead, Vahagan.
I just want to say something, man. I was listening to someone's podcast this morning. I won't mention any names, but these guys talk about themselves so much. The first 5 to 10 to 20 minutes of this podcast, it's a photography podcast, but man, it just like it's ridiculous. You know, they keep talking about themselves and what they've done and what they've accomplished. It's like talk about subjects, man. Talk about photography, and to think that these guys get so many listens. What are people listening to? You know, it blows my mind sometimes, man.
I don't know. Some people would rather just be talked to than be able to talk themselves, maybe. I don't know.
Like I hate talking about myself. Like I I just I don't know. It's not what I do, but it's just like, okay, I've done this, I've done that. Remember this. Man, I tune in to listen to what you think about photography or things like that, but stop talking about yourself, man. It's just
Exactly. Yep.
gets me sick. But yeah. It's good to see these guys hanging out again. What's the weather like out there?
right now it's not too bad. It's about what 75 here today, so it's perfect day today. But we're gonna get that tail end of that hurricane in a couple days here.
I gotta say this. Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Mossman. Oh man.
I want to say goodbye to Charles is taking off. Charles, thanks for showing up.
Charles, sorry I didn't get down to see you were in here, buddy, but glad to see you show up. There you go. I like that. Thank you very much because I haven't done that yet. Like button reminder, but I set up something to let's see.
And
Hey,
Jeff, thanks
Boost
for
247.
helping me out with plant and flower identification on my last video that I did. They commented back and told me what everything was because I'm hopelessly ignorant when it comes to plant life. And actually, I'm like the worst person you want to have near a plant because any plants I have in my yard, if I touch them, they die. So
Yeah.
I am not the guy to be around any kind of plant, and it never works out.
Yeah, Maz, we can hear you when you talk.
Okay, good.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, we can hear you clear. Very good. Good audio there.
Hagen, where's the video? You didn't get hit with a D5 or something, did you?
Yeah, man. I'm so yeah. I'm
Yeah,
not
that was
unconscious,
awful. I
man.
don't know what if I would have wanted to get blood on my brand new D5. I would have just wouldn't been
No,
worth
this guy, like I said, like I'm Armenian, and that's the worst insult you can give. So what happened was this guy he didn't care. He just knocked this guy out, and it was crazy, man. It was crazy, and Maz knows, those kind of parties can get drunkified very fast, and you lose all sight of reality when you're drunk, and so yeah, we got out of there. Luckily, it's the guy that started crap. He does this all the time at parties. So for him, it was nothing new. So the thought of like a lawsuit or anything like that is just like laughable.
Yeah. Unfortunately, to do it at somebody else's wedding.
Yeah.
Can't
The guy
imagine.
even called me like and apologized. So we're
Wow.
cool.
Quite a
So-
story. Those
so,
videos are great though. When you have
yeah.
those little personal anecdotes, those stories about your experiences. Those
Yeah, and it's all like 100%, man. People think it's like it's not true. It is true. These things happen, and you lose control, and people just, you think you're trying to pick up his girlfriend, and they get crazy, and it's like, man, calm down, man. We're just here taking pictures,
yeah.
I was going to
Yeah.
say hello to Robert Daniels, who says hi from Bermuda. I'm assuming that you are on a beach right now, enjoying yourself.
Man, Bermuda.
Oh man, I went there once. I went there. My mom freaking out. I just graduated high school. I don't even know if I had never been on an airplane by myself. And I went to Bermuda by myself for 10 days when I got out of high school because I just always wanted to go to Bermuda. So, I mean, everybody in the family was all, instead of being like, hey, that sounds great, it was like, oh, you're going by yourself? Oh, no, you sure you want to do that? Oh, I don't know that you should do that. And I'm like, hey, I'm going, baby, I'm going. And I had a great time. Bermuda was phenomenal. I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Man, that'd be great, wouldn't it? And now in Connecticut, it's cooling down, so winter is upon us. That's the way I see it up here. We're in the 60s, mid to upper 60s, all week and next week. It seems like I think I saw that. It's not a good sign. So you guys that live in California and Florida, and you, Jeffrey, down in South Carolina, man, you guys. I'm gonna miss that kind of weather here soon in Connecticut.
Yeah, there's a heat wave here in
Finally cool
California.
here, and I enjoy the cool weather. I actually, my favorite time of the year is actually down here around mid-September when it finally starts to get a little cool, and that's when I like it down here. I don't like it down here in the summer. It's too humid for me.
I'm a heat person. I don't care. It doesn't get too hot, honestly, compared to cold. I can wipe off sweat, but I can't wipe off cold. That's just the way it is. Hey, Ronald Pollard, post up here on his post up here on the screen right now. Anyone want to buy a great 200 f2? It's the VR2 version. He says I painfully decided to sell mine. So there you go. If anybody's looking for the 200 f2, you need to contact Mr. Pollard.
I got the manual focus.
So that one's the autofocus version right here.
So
Chuck, today's high is 96 degrees.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been hot in California.
So Mozman, you're good.
Mozman's he had to go buy a long sleeve shirt when he got down there.
Yeah, I did. Actually, I did buy this down here.
Not me, baby. I could handle shorts. I wear short sleeves, really until you hit winter down here.
Well,
Yeah.
it's funny. People that are in hot climates and then they visit somewhere where it's cooler, and for the locals, it's like, no, this is great weather. But you come from 98 degrees. No, this is cold. 70 degrees is cold.
Yeah, that's why I'm always hanging by the beach, man. So
I always liked the people up here in New York. I'd go to the airports to fly out when I was traveling back and forth wherever I was going. and all the people in the middle of the winter up here, New Yorkers, and they all come to the airport in a t-shirt, flip-flops, and shorts. And it's like, I don't know, 20 degrees outside. And they're hoping that their destination will be warm. But I think I'd dress a little warmer at the airport.
Hey Chuck, can I answer a question I read on the chat?
Please.
James asked, he saw something on Facebook Marketplace and they didn't respond. Well, if they don't respond, just move on. That's probably, it's either been sold or it's probably a scam. But they usually respond right away on Facebook, and if they want to sell it. But and also somebody else asked, what was that question? Oh yeah, Ron, how much you want that lens for, man?
Yeah, he said contact him if you want it. But yeah, Ron, if you have a price in mind that you want to post, then just let us know here in the comments, even though it'll take me 15 minutes to get there. In the comments, that is. Here you go. Amar's in the house. Amar, there's a link. You have a link too. If you're not busy and you want to join, you're welcome to join. I got to thank you, Blow Pop Sucker, from YouTube. Mike Farrell talking about your D5 video. Flagship bodies are awesome, can be used as a weapon. Yes, sir, they can. And Mr. Nikon, I have not answered your last WhatsApp post, but I know you're busy. You were talking about how busy you are. Brother, we're going to have to do an intervention with you and get you out of that job you're in. You're working 24/7, it seems like. I know it's your bread and butter, but man, it just seems like you're always working. You can't enjoy some of the life that goes on.
And James, me where my walker is. Well, that's why Mozman's here. When I went up the stairs, I made sure he was behind me, so if I started to lean backwards, he could push and make sure I fell forwards. And then he says, "Well, what if that doesn't work out?" And I says, "Then you're going to have two big guys laying at the bottom of the stairs, and it ain't going to look too good."
There you go. Martin Hild asked, what's his channel? I suppose you're talking about Ron Pollard. If you look in the description on the live stream today, there's a link just to click Ron Pollard, and it'll take you to his it's not a channel yet, but his website. So anybody looking, I hope everybody looks at the description. I dropped a bunch of the, typical people that are in here on the live stream quite often. Go check out their pages if you would. I think if you're not already subscribed to them, it might be something you consider as you go check out their pages. Also, I put Frame Voyager in there. Has anybody seen Frame Voyager's video that he just dropped? All about Red Raw and the Red Nikon battle. It's interesting. It helped me understand a lot about what this is all about and how it's working out. And it seems that Nikon I don't think they're the first to identify a loophole or a problem with Red's patent. And it's still yet to be seen whether that discrepancy in their patent will hold up in court. But anybody interested on that battle between Nikon and Red, because Frame Voyager even talks about Tico Raw, the developer of that raw format, and it's just worth watching. I want to get Frame Voyager back on here to talk about that again soon. So
hey, Mozman, did you take some gear with you?
Yeah, I did. I got a lot of my gear here. So I plan to do a little bit of shooting when I'm here, but I haven't shot anything.
Nice. 400 4.5?
Yep. I just showed Jeff that.
Yeah, he took it out of the bag and he handed it to me, and I'm like, I'm ready to do one of these. And it's like, wait a minute.
I told you, that's the first impression I got. I mean, what did you think? What did you think, Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty darn cool. It certainly doesn't weigh anything. I mean, you could walk around with that a couple days, I don't think, and complain too much.
Right?
I mean, yeah, very, very light. Very light.
That's awesome.
Thanks, Touch Life Studio.
It has a huge lens hood on it, though. I was surprised how big the lens hood was.
Really? I don't think
Yeah, it
it's
looks
big.
pretty big to me.
Hey, Maz, any word on your 800 coming in?
No, not at all. Not a word. I went in and checked on it the other day, and they said probably not until January.
That's not that big.
Well, for a 400.
Compared to the
It looks like a 24-70. I mean, from the way you were holding it there.
Oh,
Or-
yeah, I mean, I could just flip this around and woo. Got to be careful. The owner's next to me.
Yep.
see, here's the 4.
Okay, so here's the 1-4. All right. Well, it's not much bigger. It's not really. It's like maybe a quarter of an inch, 3/8 bigger than the 1-4.
What, the lens hood?
The lens
Yeah.
hood, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that has to do with it being multi focal length. That
Yeah,
pedal
you could fit the 1-4 inside the
yeah.
inside the 400.
Okay.
I mean, it's very thick. It's pretty thick too. But yeah, he I don't know if he brought the stuff down here to try to get me to buy it off him or what, because maybe he's going to give me a deal like Verhagen gets when he goes shopping. I don't get deals like that.
No, I doubt that's going to happen.
I get a deal like that. That's one of those things that comes in the mail and it's in pieces, and the guy says, "I don't know how it got broken. It looked good when I shipped it."
That's why I don't do mail orders. I just go and look at it, you know.
Man, how far behind am I? There's no idea. I have no idea right now. I'm looking over at the other. Man, I'm way behind. So
Hey,
let me.
Jeff, $900 for the 14 to 30 and the 50. I mean, that's just like no brainer, man. I sold both and I rebought them. I said, shit, I want these two back.
That's like even if I in my mind convinced myself I didn't need them for that amount of money, I would have pulled the trigger and bought them as well.
Heck yeah.
You know, that's like a gift. I mean, how could you not get it? You know.
Oh man, the guy was cool, man. Like an old school Japanese kind of laid back guy. You know.
And you always find the deals. I look at the same things that you look at, and I never see deals like that.
I don't know, man. One day posting, you know.
Yeah.
San Jose, I was there. Boom. Hey man, I'll be there in 10 minutes. All right. Boom.
Well, Roy is saying if the 2 to 600 doesn't show up soon, he'll have to buy the 400. Well, I'll tell you, there's really two lenses that they need to pop out quick. And it's not like they haven't satisfied the long end of the range that they have, but at a very high price point overall. But they need to have that 2 to 600 come out for the average Joe to have for wildlife and sports. And then then you could call it quits on the telephoto lens for quite a while, and then get that 85 1.2 out for people that want a good portrait lens, and get that out there. And those are the two lenses that really need to come out like yesterday. And people keep talking like, oh yeah, it's imminent, it's gonna, yeah, we hear it's coming out, yeah. Well, just do it, man. Pull the trigger and get it out there to everybody.
How about here's a better idea. How about the ones that are out, have them in stock?
Oh yeah, that would be a nice miracle, wouldn't it? You could tell me, tell me that you got a 35 1.2 and a 135. What was the fastest 135 they ever made on the F mount?
Yeah.
Come out with a Z mount equivalent to the 135, and say, yeah, we got them all, guys. They're all out there now. But if you got to wait 2 years to get it, don't even tell me, because all that's going to do is tick me off more. The damage
Chuck,
they're doing by not having the stuff available, is killing them. Absolutely killing them.
Hey, I just want to say, hey, Dave, thanks for dropping by, man, and good to see you. We'll see you Saturday night. Go ahead, Verhagen.
Like the 400 2.8 news we got. What the heck, man? Anyway, Chuck, can I just make a comment on buying and selling online?
Yeah, please.
So basically, if you see something that's really too good to be true, and the guy's like ship only, you got to kind of watch out for that. Some of these guys, they're trying to scam you. So what I did was I saw a listing for a 200 f2 for a ridiculous price, and I was like, okay. And I knew it was a scam, but I was like, let me play a game with this guy. I'm like, okay, so where are you at, man? Where can I see this? He's like, I'm in Texas. Okay, I only ship. I know you're from LA. Well, I only ship. So I go, well, tell you what, I have a friend that lives in your city. Let him come down, check out the lens. If everything's good, he'll pay you cash and we're good, right? He goes, oh, no, no, no. I only ship. So there you go. You know, watch out for scam artists, man. They
Oh
use
yeah,
the,
absolutely. That's what I like about marketplaces because you can narrow your focus down to where you can actually do it, face to face, the handoff or the sell or purchase
Yeah,
or purchase or buy.
I've come across that same thing. I actually had somebody that was local tell me that they would only ship the lens. I'm like, come on. And
I,
I don't know how many people use OfferUp, but what a lot of the scammers do on OfferUp is they want you to communicate outside of the platform. So if anyone, if you're trying to buy anything on OfferUp and somebody tries to get you to start communicating through text messages or taking that communication off of that platform, it's a scam.
yeah, and they
Yeah.
use the latest gear names. It's like, wow, these guys really do their homework.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
I
when,
had
I'm
I
sorry,
had
go
the same issue. I had the same issue with my D5. I posted it, and I was looking for somebody local. Did it on Marketplace. Well, some guy in California picked it up, found it, or whatever. And we went through the whole back and forth about he wanted it, and hey, he blah blah blah. Sent me an address and everything else. Ship it here, and I'll go through PayPal to pay you. So I waited for the PayPal to show up, and I cornered him on it. And I went and looked at the address and looked at the reviews of the place. It's just a known pickup spot for these con artists doing this kind of mail order or mail purchases. Anyway, he sent me a PayPal, like kind of like a receipt, and it had this little add-on. Funds will be released upon arrival of the product or the whatever. And I sent it to PayPal. I said, I've never seen this before. What's the deal? And they said, thank you for sending that. That is not us. So that's how technical they're getting. They had the logo, everything down pat.
Yeah.
So beware.
My dad just a couple months ago, he was selling one of his Nikons, Facebook Marketplace with a couple lenses. He doesn't use it at all anymore, so he just wanted to get something for it, something a little more than what KEH was offering. So he went to Facebook Marketplace, put it on there. He had an older woman contact him about it through Facebook. Long story short, it was a scam. Somebody got into her Facebook account. He sent the camera out when his PayPal showed that there was a pending payment. Now,
Yeah.
pending doesn't mean that you have the money yet. It means it's pending, and it means it hasn't gone through that authentication process. So it was a fake payment. He got really lucky though, because the business that the scammer had it sent to, it got held up in the mailroom. And my dad was able to call that company, track it down, and he actually got his camera back. I mean, that never happens in these situations.
Yeah. Yeah.
The reason that package got held up in the mailroom.
I bought a D700 way back when. I bought a D700 from a guy online, and I sent the camera. Or no. He was selling a D700, and then I purchased it, and I never got a response from him after I purchased it. Now I will say this: PayPal was good, but it was a long process. So I had good luck with PayPal then. At least PayPal, they asked me all the questions. Have you tried to contact him? I sent them all the information, all the texts, and everything that I had sent and emails, and they eventually paid me back. Now I don't know. I doubt they got their money back, but they did honor the way they operated at that time. So I was very lucky to get my money back too.
And two other things that really annoy me when I'm buying is that when I'm asking questions about the product and the seller's getting a little annoyed, like, yeah, not wanting to answer some of the questions I'm asking. That really, gets to me. And also, when they tell you it's mint, like brand new, and when you show up there and it's not, that's another one.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean by mint? Is it like cherry, or is there some scratches, or so
Hey, Mozman, did you see that comment on the screen
Rob?
there?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
actually responding to him now. I guess I didn't. I forgot I was on the camera and mic. Ron, I've shot some stuff with it on in DX crop mode. I think I've shot some. I shot some birds, and I know I definitely switched into DX mode for a little bit when I was at an air show a few weeks ago. I can actually send you some photos if you want. You can take a look at them, pixel peep.
I think he's trying to decide whether he wants to pick that 400 up or not.
Yeah.
The dead birds that he shot, though, it's horrible to watch. Look at those pictures, really bad.
The aircraft models that he had, and he was holding with a stick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here comes.
I had one of those old Cox planes with the guideline on it.
There you go.
Hey, is the 400-45 out of stock?
I think so. It's hard
I
to get.
think so.
It's pretty hard to get.
There's
Yeah.
someone selling it on Fred Miranda right now. 3,500.
Didn't you have a bad thing with Fred Miranda?
Yeah, I bought a camera off of Fred Miranda from somebody that had really good feedback, and I got it. It was a Nikon film camera. I think it was an Wppi. It might have been an Wppi2, and I got it. It was a really good price. I get it. The meter doesn't work. It's not shooting in all the modes, and so I sent the guy a message back through Fred Miranda, and I said the camera's not working. And he's like, "Are you sure you know how to use it?" I was like, "Okay, man." The price I got it for, it wasn't worth going back and forth. So, I have some other cameras I eventually need to take in and get them CLA'd and stuff. So that'll just be another one to add to the pile. But yeah, I did have a bad experience there. But for the price I got it for, I mean, even if I put money into getting it fixed, then I'm still ahead.
So, hey, Amar just popped in. Let me drop Amar in here. Amar, before you join us, let me say, Gustavo, that was at the top of my list. I don't know if it's going to show up or not. That was at the top of my list, and I passed right over it. So thank you for reminding me. This Saturday night is the photo review. If you haven't sent a photo in, and right now, Gustavo and you, Jeffrey, are the only two that I see, but I haven't gone back and gone through all of my emails, but you're the only two that I see. So if you'd like to participate this Saturday night, October 1st, 9 p.m., we're going to do another photo review. And I'd like you to send your photos if you want to join that with us. It's a lot of fun. We're having a good time with it. Let me throw this in here real quick so everybody can see. Just email it to me at AP Studios. It's chuckomail@yahoo.com, and puts in the subject line, just put for photo review or Saturday photo review or October photo review, something like that. So it stands out as I'm skimming through the bajillion emails I get for everything else that I don't want. I've tried shutting down some of them, but anyway, that's Saturday night, 9 p.m. We'll be doing the photo review this Saturday night, 1 October. And it's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it. I didn't know whether we should do it or not. I was kind of leery of the whole idea of doing a photo review, and I don't want to call it a critique because that's when it gets ugly, because you get a lot of people that may just jump in. They never were in, they've never been on our live stream before or seen it, and they want to become that, art critic and tell us everything that's wrong about the photo rather than just enjoying the photo. I know a lot of times, the people that are sending the photos, they'll participate either on the phone. We have our call-in line, or they'll participate in the chat. And if you so want a critique, then you're more than welcome to ask for it. I think that's a different approach than everybody looking at it as I've got to find everything wrong with the photo when it goes up on the screen and talk about it. But anyway, that's this Saturday night. And again, I'd invite you to be in the stream. If you submit a photo, you don't have to be, but be there, be available to talk about your photo, because we always enjoy hearing how you did it, what you did it with, and everything else. So that's Saturday night, again, October 1st, photo review. Drop your photos in in an email to checkomail@yahoo.com, and I'll get them all set up again so we can go through them. It's worked out well the only 2 times that we've done it.
Yeah.
I just, ask everybody that wants to participate, get your photos in.
It's been a lot of fun. Jeff and Leslie are asking about the size. It's going to be 2048 on the long side. So you really end up with, like, I try to size mine 2048 by 1365, and that works. That seems to work fine.
So 6x9 is 2048 by 11 something. So if you want to, if you want to just go ahead and crop it, then that's fine as well.
Yeah.
Either way, 3x2 or 2x3, however you look at it, or 16x9 is fine because that is video frame size. So either way, that's fine. But 2048 at least, and on the long side, because that'll show up well on the screen, and it gives us a little latitude to zoom to check out all the intricate parts of your photo. So by all means, submit a photo and we'll have a good time Saturday night with that.
Hey, Chuck.
Sir.
I got a question for the chat.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever bought something from KEH and it's like a BN rating? And were you happy with that?
Bought from them, but never the bargain rating. No.
Okay. All right.
That to me, that's like anything at that level to me is just something for Art Deco purposes on your shelf.
Really?
I would not. I wouldn't buy it thinking that it's going to be something that's overly usable. That doesn't look like it got smashed in the head of a drunk guy at a wedding.
Yeah.
Amar.
Well, as is good. As is good as long as it works.
Yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt you guys, Hagen, but Amar, we can hear the feedback in your audio.
Oh, sorry, man.
That's okay. So let's get Amar in here too.
Vahagan, I was just going to say that I've heard some really good stories about people buying bargain rated gear at KEH. They get something that's much better quality than they were expecting. It's worth it. And you can always send it back.
Hey, I got a really quick question for you, Maz, and I'll get out of everyone's way. Hey, Maz, do you know anything about RSS feeds for podcasts?
Sure, RSS feeds. Yeah,
I'm going to contact you for that. All right, because I need that to set up my podcast on Spotify and all these other places. I need to set up an RSS feed. So we'll talk.
All right.
Sounds good.
And Maz, still want to get you, if you want to do it on one of the shows, make that the topic, even though we won't stay there. There you go.
Go.
Cool.
Nice.
Now you got to imitate the sound.
That's great, man. Yeah, I was saying, I would love to have you come on and explain to us all this external storage, which I still don't completely understand, and help us out with the beginners. What we could look at to purchase to get our storage up to snuff.
Absolutely, yeah. I'll put
I'd
something
appreciate
together.
that.
You want to do it on a Wednesday, a Saturday?
I don't know. I think Saturday night's best because we have more people that are able to join.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd love to do it. I mean, we'll let it go until people quit asking questions about it or whatever, and then we can move on the topic. But I think a lot of people would like to talk about that and know, what do I need to look for? What do I need to look at? What are some of the best, devices for storage, and how do I set it up and everything else? Because especially now that we're getting into so many large megapixel cameras and video, we're going to have to go to external storage because I don't have room for it. I've got all these little, Samsung and you name it. And I need to get rid of all these and put it in one logical place so I can find it rather than searching for these little external drives.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure whatever it is that I don't have to remortgage the house to get it.
Well, I don't think any of it's going to be cheap, but if you can help us out, Maz, by letting us know, okay, here's the lower end of what you could look for or whatever. I know it depends on a lot of variables, but just give us, hey, if you have nothing right now and you're storing it on a bunch of thumb drives or whatever, here's a good starting point to at least capture and archive what you have now.
Sure.
Gustavo, have a good one. Gustavo's taking off. He'll be back Saturday.
All right, Gustavo.
Have a good one, sir.
Great to see you in here. Appreciate it. Thanks for the reminder on the photo review. All right. Yeah, I can see people already talking about. I use multiple portable HDD for storage. Use multiple in case one fails. And Roy's talking about RAID that takes SSDs. And I think and NAS, 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 whatever. So that's what. If you could straighten, somebody like me out that I don't even know what RAID means or what it does or not NAS or
It
whatever.
RAID kills bugs real good.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, if you could help us out with that, man, I'd appreciate it, and I think a lot of people would be too.
Yeah, I know. This coming Saturday is the photo review, so
Right?
maybe in 2 weeks.
Yeah, sounds good.
Put some notes together.
So if you guys in the chat want to participate in that, and you got some questions about what you'd like to know about, just throw them in the chat so Moz can check it out. Or better yet, and I ask this all the time, and I know it's a pain to go back, but after this rolls into a video, if you'll put it in a comment, then even Moz can just go back to look at the comments on this live stream, not the chat, but the comments, and find some of those questions if you have any. So if you would be so kind and do that, then Moz can look back and see what everybody's asking about or for or whatever contributions you may want to make to your suggestions. So anyway, I think it's a worthwhile discussion. I know I need it. And I need to get off the money that I save for lenses and cameras and invest in some storage, quality storage. So there you have it. Amar,
what's happening?
we haven't excluded you. You just hit us at a point where we're just trying to talk through a few things. But how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. I was just listening into Vahagan trying to champion the stealing market. He's trying to steal all the gear, man, so no one can get it.
Yeah, he is a wheeler dealer. Vahagan
Hey,
needs to
man.
open his own buy and sell lens business.
Well, it's in our blood, right? So it's in our blood because we even negotiate food, right, back home, right?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, man, there's $20. What do you mean it's $20? It's like 5. Let's do 5.
Well, who said anything about negotiating, bro? They listed for that price. I go buy it.
I'm sure.
I'll take it off your hands, my friend.
Take it off your hands. That's the new word. Yeah.
Start using that.
That's the part of that statement that scares me when he says the "my friend" part.
My friend.
That's
And Jeffrey,
That's when you pull that cash out and hold it in front of them. Look, here's cash.
so Jeffrey, you made a comment. I hope I don't mortgage the house. I think your trouble is sitting right next to you, showing you that gear. That's going to do a nice job of that.
Martin Hill had said earlier, after the 800 and the 500 PF and the 300 PF, he said he doubts his wife would be very appreciative of him purchasing that 400 4.5. So,
Hey, Chuck,
sir,
can I make a shameless plug here?
by all means, that's what this channel's about. Shameless plugs. I'm going to rename it.
Why he's not showing his face.
No, seriously, man, go ahead.
So, well, a lot of people have been asking me, okay, I can't find your podcast on Spotify and Google Podcasts and wherever you listen to your podcast other than iTunes or Apple. So now when I hook up with Mozman, we're gonna totally have my podcast available everywhere. So I'm recording a podcast tonight with Will from Monochrome.
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk about we're gonna get into detail about wedding photography and the art versus what people talk about on YouTube,
Right.
which is people missing the point. So we got a good show for you guys soon. But yeah, Moz, man, when you get back, let's hook that up. Let's do it.
Sure thing.
That's what I looked like last week.
All right. No whispering in the corner.
I pictured Jeff from last week.
I've shaved since.
Yeah, I see that.
For the show.
I see that. Jeff, you're sitting a little higher in the frame today. I'm happy about that.
And I'm not sitting on a pillow or anything girly.
Well,
girly.
that's what Amar last night as I jumped on his show for a few minutes. He asked me if I'd come in, and I said, sure. And the first thing I thought is, you need a phone book to sit on, sir.
Well, I mounted that camera so high, right?
Well,
because
okay.
that's the thing to do, right? Because that's what YouTube teaches you. If you don't follow that, then you're not conventional. So then no one watches your video, right?
I see it as everybody's looking down on you.
Yeah, that's right. I
It's
know.
probably a bad way to.
It's like I'm trying to like look up at the thing and just remember, oh yeah, this camera is actually above me. It's not like at eye level. So
Yeah. Fill the frame, Amar. Fill the frame.
I surely did yesterday. You saw that, right? The entire frame was full with the entire room.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about you. Be the biggest subject in the room.
I know. I need to shoot it with a 200 f2 and do my live streams with that.
Hey, in my early videos, which I think Vahagan had seen one. I'm still getting all the feedback from you. There you go. I actually used the 85 and the 70 to 200 and had the camera sitting across the room. So, and while that may look cool on screen, it was a booger because, we had that 30-minute recording limit. So in the middle of the video, one would go out and I'd have to go turn it back on. And then the other one would go out or running back and forth across the room. Anyway, yeah, you can use that 200, and I know you're just kidding.
Hey Chuck,
yeah.
Chuck, I finally got Nikon USA to respond to one of my pictures. I got a reply. Yeah.
Cool. Good, man. Congrats
Instagram.
on that too.
Took a while.
On that.
Jeez.
What did they say? Hopefully it's good news.
Nothing. They just replied to one of my photos. Amazing shot.
Ah.
So I was like, hey man, feel free to post it on your Instagram. It'll be my honor. Just tag my Instagram.
So there's another request talking about we need to have a lighting discussion one day. Yeah, I think it'd be great. We had the one, and I think it went well. Steve Land talked about it, actually made a video on it. So you go to Steve Land Photography, you'll see the video he did after we had the live stream. But that's just beginning in the basics. And I think we get when we start talking about lighting, we all want to just hit the basics and then we're jumping into very technical lighting and all kinds of things. But a lot of people just show me how to use one light, show me how to use a speed light, and then let them grow from there. So that's what we tried to talk about that night, but it's so easy to get out of control. But I agree. I love lighting too. And let's figure out how we need to set up a live stream to talk about that. Maybe it's time for me to go live again and everybody laugh at me as I'm trying to juggle everything in the room. But I'd love to do some more lighting talk. You guys want to do that again?
Chuck, we can laugh at you anytime you want us to, if you want.
Well, I don't. Yeah, I don't care if people laugh at me. I'm just saying that maybe that's the best show to have, where people can laugh. I don't know.
Yeah, we need shows that are funny.
Yeah.
So James and I are planning a trip to Conomingo with some folks that truly love, wildlife. And I know he posted something in the comments there. If anyone would like to join at Conomingo, because I think it's probably about another 4 weeks or so. It's really going to start happening with the Conomingo Eagles. And it goes into the winter. And once it's in winter, it's awesome.
Yeah, in 4 weeks up here, we're already into color change on the trees. It's just starting to happen, which is a little bit early, but then again, we've had a very dry summer up here, so I expect that to happen soon. A quick change and it'll rain right before, so the colors will go away. All the leaves will fall off the trees, get beat off the trees, and we won't have any opportunity to shoot it, I'm sure.
Yeah, over here it's in the 40s already, so it's like getting to be perfect weather for eagles to really get out.
Okay.
They love the colder weather, and Conomingo is really the place to go if you want to photograph a lot of them together right there. It's an incredible place. You know, you can get James's take on it. He went up there a couple of times. I think he's coming up there again in a week or 2 weeks.
Okay.
Can I come set up my drums and play while you're trying to shoot birds?
As I said last night, you know, I was joking with him while he was trying to shoot. I ended up calling him because he was up there and he missed some shots. So, you know, I framed up a whole story. The Z9 can't focus with backlit subjects, right?
Yeah.
He's like,
Got
well, I'm
that
going to
goal.
blame it on you. I'm like, what, did you send those pictures with Chuck? He goes, well, no, I can't because it never took them. And I was asking Chuck last night, it's like, Chuck, did he ever send you those pictures he never took? Chuck's like, no, not yet.
You can have the Hagen go with you, and he can look at the birds and
No, I'm taking Hagen
I'm
only
here
for
to take your pictures, my friend.
I'm taking Hagen only for bodyguard services.
Hey, if you ever hear my friend in a negotiation, run like hell.
Actually, if you sound like that, my friend, you know, then I'm running real
My
fast.
friend.
Oh my God.
Robert, lighting kit that you're intrigued about. So what is it? You throw it
Spill
in
the
the
beans, buddy.
yeah.
Talk. Spill the beans.
And a photo, another live streamer coming soon. Here you go. From my studio with someone to photograph one day soon. You can laugh at me. You know, I'm not going to laugh at you because I'd be the last person to laugh at somebody that's doing that because that's no easy task trying to run everything at once and direct a model. Are you kidding me? He says he's going to change his entire lighting kit here soon. Been studying what fits my needs. Man, good luck with that because it's so easy to get drug into things you really don't need, but you just want. So good luck.
He just signed an NDA with Rotolight. That's what he's doing.
Okay.
I'm just kidding, guys.
Hey guys, what's your take on this new Sony? What is it? The 30?
Got that on the list too. Sony FX30. And if I encourage, said that up front, go check out some of the reviews on it. Actually, I'm you know, kind of impressed with it. It looks like it's a video centric camera. If you're going to buy that, or you're going to go, if you have no desire for anything video centric, then forget about it. It's not for you. It doesn't have an EVF or an OVF. So it's kind of like a Z30 on steroids. Well, it's funny that both are 30s. That is kind of funny, but it's an $1,800 body only.
Ooh.
And, but it has a carry handle that attaches to it for another $400. But the nice thing about this carry handle is it turns it into a true video centric, absolute video centric camera because it has XLR inputs, 2 XLR inputs in the handle. I mean, that's pretty cool. Again, video shooters, it's something to look at, and it's super 35. So, you know, not full frame. So
Right.
that
It's
makes
the same as the one that Canon made, 2 of those. The 15 and the 20 that they made with the XLRs built in. They were like under $2,000. I guess that market is coming back, right? Because of mirrorless cameras, a lot of people stopped buying them. But I think they're trying to bring that back. But the one that Canon had actually had a fan in it, and it also had a built-in like a video EVF built into this thing that you could actually detach and those kind of things. But it was only $2,000, and it's not a cinema camera.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know Potato Jet, just, you know, search on YouTube Potato Jet. His last video, the embargo lifted last night, I guess, because, you know, in the feed, you're probably getting 10 or so reviews of the Sony FX30 this morning. But anyway, check out Potato Jet. He does a good job of explaining it. He's video centric. It's kind of funny. He's actually shooting with a Canon shooter, and the guy asked, does it take pictures? And anyway, their back and forth is kind of funny, but he does a real good job of explaining the camera, and he's a video guy, big video guy. If you want to take a look, and it's entertaining. Anything he does is entertaining. He and Kai, both are very entertaining, but check it out. I think if nothing else, check it out to see what you think Nikon should do next, or should Nikon mimic this, or whatever. Your thoughts are good, especially in streams and videos, because I truly believe that Nikon does monitor this stuff, and they're looking at it to see what the consumer's looking for. They've definitely heard a lot from me, so I don't even know if they listen to me anymore, but you guys still have a voice, and put it in comments so the Nikon runs across it. They see what the majority's looking for. Neat looking camera though. Go ahead, Vaughan, whatever you had to say about it.
Oh, nothing. I just wanted your take. I pony up another what? How much are A7S3s used going for right now?
I don't know, but he compares it to the A7S3 now that you mention it. And that's something, you see the comparison that he makes between the two. And the FX30 shines a little more in some areas than the A7S3. And like I
Really?
said in the beginning, it will shoot 4K 120 and HD 240. And he shows footage from, both. And it's really interesting to watch.
Hey, you want to get people all animated on the show here. Talk about for all those disgruntled, and I'm not saying justifiably so, but disgruntled Canon shooters. Well, if you want to come to the Nikon camp and not get rid of your lenses, Mikey has an EF lens to a Z adapter, fully electronic compatible, fully functional, all the electronics, all the lens stabilization, in-body stabilization, take advantage of both. All that stuff works, and it's $160.
All right,
So,
I'm glad you brought that up, because
you
we
want to
have
jump to Nikon, well, you Canon folks. There you go. You can put your Canon lenses on the Nikon Z9.
All right, Albert, you're up, buddy, and I need to get you on the show to talk about all these adapters, man. So you need to get ready and let me know when you're ready. I'd love to have you on to talk about that and answer all these questions about all the adapters for all the lenses. Because hey, you guys don't know it, but Albert can adapt a shoot. He showed us one lens, which was, what am I trying to say here? It was a projector lens. There is no aperture in, and you just look right through it. Anyway, and I'm sure if that can be adapted, then anything can be adapted to your Nikon cameras. And
Is he your duct tape boy you were talking about last night?
No, no.
Hey, Simon is going.
Solve the world's problems, believe me.
Hey, Simon's going hard on the R1 now.
Yeah, I know.
Who's going hard on the R1?
Simon.
Ordinary filmmaker.
Well, ordinary filmmakers shouldn't be worrying about the R1 because that's an exceptional piece. It's not for ordinary people.
Yeah, it's definitely for ordinary people, because
right?
it's Canon.
Yes, it's you gotta have it type of thing. You gotta
It's
have
definitely
it.
ordinary because it's Canon.
And Jeffrey, you gotta mortgage that house, right? You gotta do it. It's a want. It's all about the want, not the need.
Bro, it's just.
But my only thing is simple, right? If you can't shoot worth a shit on the shoot worth
the what?
Worth the crap on the R7. Do you really think you're going to shoot any better on the R1? I mean, on the R7 you can't do it.
I do. That's why I bought flagship.
It make you feel that your junk pictures are better though, because it's cost you more. Look at me! Look what I can do now. The power of the R1.
Hey, I don't buy a Z1 Corvette because or Z4 because I can drive it to its potential, but it looks good when I am in it.
Oh, I'm going back to the iPhone photography world.
There you go. There you go. I've seen some comments on that too lately about how long before iPhones take over APS cameras.
Yeah, the iPhone 15 will take over the photographic world.
Yeah, there you go. Z9 Corvette. All right.
Hey, look what Jay Kimmer wrote.
Hard on the
R1. That's true. That's true.
That's funny.
Hey, I want to
Oh,
go
you
back
could be
up
hard
here.
on the R1 or you could be hard on the left one or whatever. Oops.
I want to go back up here on the lighting piece. Roy was talking about, battery. He loves the fact that strobes are now battery powered, or the majority of them. And Robert Daniels talking about Brandon Cole. I saw that, Robert, the black beauty dish. And I'm curious. I want to see more about it. I want to see some shoots with it. Rather than a reflective dish, a beauty dish that's black. And I don't know how that works. I mean, it sounds interesting. I want to see it in action, man. I haven't seen that yet, but
Yeah.
he was talking about unique items by actual photographers that are coming up with some of these ideas. I want to see what it does, but I just can't fathom how that works. Just eating up light and a reflection. It seems like it would just be less light or lower intensity shooting using a black beauty dish because it's just not going to reflect. So anyway,
Why do you need that? Because you can just get the Z9 that shoots at ISO 400,000. You get the Sony A7S III that shoots at 2 million ISO. Why the hell do we need beauty dish and all that? We love noise in our images.
we like buying things. Haven't you figured that out yet? It's not
I
about
know.
one. It's just we just like to
Where's the
buy
birdie?
things.
So when do I get the R1? What does Simon say? Does he have it in like the Grays of Westminster? Because they
Oh,
told me if I move to England.
Hey, don't try to kid us. The minute that thing's available, you're going to buy one.
Oh, that's probably true, but
Hey, finally, reality has kicked in.
But I do love what Grays of Westminster said on their last live stream. They said, we are working directly with Nikon, and if you order through our link, and we will make sure you get your gear. And I'm like, I need to move to England. These guys are awesome.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, but don't try to fool us about that R1 or whatever it will be called. You're going to have one.
Yeah.
I'll wait for Canon to release something on there because you know how I feel about these rumor people because you saw what happened with the Nikon story with the 7 cameras. I almost fell off my chair on the drink I was drinking.
You're too sensitive about that stuff. I don't care. I love rumors, no matter how crazy they are.
Well, actually, the R1 is going to have like a quad stack sensor. It's going to have 4 layers. It's going to actually show you things like it's going to have a genie pop out of it. Actually,
no, that's Nikon's working on that sensor right now. That's
the R1's going to fold and open up like my
there
phone.
You go.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. Now that's technology right there.
There you go. That's what you're going to get.
There you go. The R1 is going to be mashed into the next iPhone.
I agree, Kevin. He is a good dude. I'm going to have him on the show again here before long. We just can't get it timed right. Let some more come out about what Nikon's going to do here next month because I'm certain of it. It's going to happen. We're going to see a camera announcement next month. So, and then I'll get Simon on here. For those that don't like him, and I know Nikon Rumors isn't a fan of his, Peter over there. And as much as I liked Nikon Rumors, and I still do, but now I got to go through 15 pages of ads to get to the actual information. And I understand that's making money. I get it. But Simon's a great guy that keeps his finger on the pulse about what all the camera makers are doing. So, like him or hate him, the fact that he spends that much time at least following rumors and specs as they're, that are fact. He's just a good one-stop shop to see what's going on with your brand because he doesn't favor any brand when he's reporting.
Well, I like really the fact that he shoots all of his videos in 8K because when I'm actually 85 years old, I want to really watch it in 8K. So it's future proof. His channel is really future proof. So I'm dying to look at the G9 videos again.
Keep saying that when you can, and you drop the first 8K video, I will remember this comment. Okay.
I already did. You haven't even been paying attention. See, but
I can't see it in 8K yet. I can't see it in 8K yet, but I can at least see it.
That's because you're not technologically, you're not advanced enough yet, right?
Well,
so I already shot it in 8K when I had the R5. No one watched it. Actually, 2 people watched it in 8K.
Maybe it wasn't because it was in 8K they didn't watch it.
Well, if he shoots an AK, but he can't show his face on the
No,
screen,
no,
now I can
You're
understand
absolutely
there's a
right.
problem.
I think
it
if I
might
would have
not have
had the
been
FX,
8K that was the issue.
if I would have had the FX30 at that time, I'm pretty sure they would have watched it in 8K.
Those video now.
Okay,
Shooting 0K.
It's the camera that I use. I think that's what it is.
there you go.
It's not my skill at all.
Well, it's not mine either, but that doesn't stop me from trying. A beauty dish is
don't
only
have
good
any.
for perfect skin. Absolutely, absolutely, Roy. And it's very seldom. I know a lot of people can show you them using it with other in other situations, or if you want to accentuate uh, problems like older folks do those black and white photos of the older folks using a beauty dish, that hard light. Yeah, you can make some incredible black and white photos with that. But you're right, it has its own purpose, and it's not the thing to use all the time. That's another thing to discuss, as we continue to talk about lighting.
James is funny. Did you see James' comment on the hurricane?
Yeah,
All
hurricanes.
right, James. I got a lot of people that I know that actually live in Florida, and it doesn't look good for those people, right? I think they're going to get really slammed. I know we're joking around. I just truly pray for them, especially the ones that are hard-headed like myself that wouldn't leave their house, that they do okay, because that storm is not a joke, and it's going straight for them. So if you have some family there,
I was watching that before we started. I watched Ron Hall on YouTube, Ron Hall, y'all, on YouTube, and he covers a lot of this stuff live. He's not a weather guy on a weather channel. He has his own channel that he's set up on YouTube, and it's interesting. He's live right now, I believe. So you can go there and watch what's happening right now. He connects with all the storm chasers out there. So it's constant feedback and talking about it, and he understands weather anyway. It's kind of one of those things that you just can't quit watching once you start it. So, but they were talking about all the rivers, the inlets on the West Coast. Water had started flowing backwards, and that's part of that storm surging wind. And then Tampa Bay, where all the water had left the bay.
Yep.
So anyway, you can go to Ron Hall, RONHALL, on YouTube if you want, and check it out. The guy's he's just got a great channel going for weather. If you're in,
I just wanted to bring this up, Chuck, because both me and my wife, we work in healthcare, and we're definitely embracing for this because it's going to be, I hate using these words that people use, catastrophic, but a Category 4 hitting the Tampa area, it's not a joke, and it's pretty serious, right? I have some friends right now from work that are sitting in Orlando. They decided not to leave. Bad idea on my part, but I think I would have left. They're going to, we're only 70 miles away. Well, 70 miles on a Category 4 is not that far. That's a big hurricane. That's pretty serious. So all you can do is just pray for these people and hope none of them need medical attention and they all come out of it. But it doesn't look like it.
Absolutely. But a lot of people this time did heed the warning and were evacuating going north. And as the governor said, you don't have to go to another state. You just need to get out of the hard hit path of the tornado, which they had projected, which was good advice, I think. But I know a lot of people were definitely leaving Florida for this storm. So Mark Smith's another photographer down there. He's a YouTuber. Everybody knows who Mark Smith is.
Yep, he is down there.
Yep, and he's down there. So he may be home. Maybe he isn't. Maybe he's traveling somewhere, but I know he's from Florida. So
I'd love to have a mic there, seeing what you guys are laughing about.
Martin Hill, thank you, buddy. Yeah, everybody down there that's in the path of tornado, anybody that might be watching, or if you have friends or family there, I hope they stay safe and everything turns out okay. We don't want another, what was it, the Cat 5 Andrew. They say that was the start of this proliferation of boas, pythons, and everything else down in Florida because that sanctuary flooded and now everybody's fighting pythons and boa constrictors and everything else in Florida. So anyway, I hope the best for it. But if you guys want to go check it out, I suggest his channel on YouTube. It definitely is worth watching. He does a great job of covering everything that's going on. Let's see.
Well, another thing that's interesting is, but not surprising, is I guess Sigma and Tamron are going to be discontinuing quite a few SLR lenses. Sigma supposedly 18 and Tamron 22. So I think Becky was interviewing or was talking to somebody at a Sigma booth at a photo show there in England and asked about when are they going to make some Z lenses, and the guy just kind of smiled and say, well, we're working on it. We're working on that or something, made some comment. So maybe if they stop making some DSLR lenses, they'll be able to, reallocate their resources to maybe work out something with Nikon and maybe start making some Z lenses.
Yeah, I don't know what the what the negotiation is with Sigma with Nikon. I don't know whether they're talking to them or not, but I know a lot of people want to see Sigma get in on this as well.
Yeah.
So, oh man. And on that note, talking about, I did watch Grays of Westminster this morning because I just like watching them. And I think, honestly, they're the first to really have a live stream that, yes, I'm eating peanut M&Ms. They're the first to have a live stream that
Where's my M&M?
included the chat. And I think that's great. And so I can't say that my idea was completely original because I enjoyed their channel. But anyway, what was funny is they were talking about talking to the Nikon reps. And I know they had Richie on there. They had talked to him, but she said they're unusually quiet right now. Well, why is that? Well, it's not Nikon's strategy to lead us astray. I think that there's a lot going on in the Nikon camp, which is why I'm still believing that we get a camera announcement next month. So when Nikon reps refuse to answer questions or say, I don't know, and they don't have any kind of an opinion, then there's something they're hiding. So there you have it.
That's the way they are at these convention halls.
There you go, gentlemen.
They give you this mindless stare. Like they don't know what you're talking about.
Are you seeing chocolate? You have a desire for M&Ms.
There you go.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the Ukraine. That's the Ukraine color, Chad.
Blue and yellow. All right. So Photo's saying personally he loves them.
October surprise.
Yep. It's going to happen. How do you know that? What are your facts? I don't have any facts. Rumors aren't facts. Nikon usually calls me and tells me, hey, here's what we're thinking about doing, or here's what we're going to announce. Please don't say anything. Right.
Hey,
Let's see.
Chuck has a direct hotline with Nikon because their marketing department uses Chuck's image all the time when they make decision making.
Exactly. Hang on. Nikon's on the line. I'll be right back.
Yeah. You got to start doing Frono's photo skit. Oh, here's so and so from Nikon.
Madeline K.
Madeline, yes.
Madeline, yeah.
And Steven, did Nikon call yet?
Yeah.
Steal him away, bro.
Yeah.
You got Steven in the back now.
Yeah.
I wonder if Steven got a raise.
Tell him to take the darts out of my head. It hurts. Tell him to take the darts out.
Fro, give the man a raise. Stop being so cheap.
Exactly. Yeah, he is the show. I mean, let's face it. He's doing all the heavy lifting as far as the production and producing things. So anyway, give him a raise. Come on, Jared, give him a raise. The guy's doing a great job. All right, Jeff and Leslie Wildlife talking about. I mentioned in a prior live stream. Anyone think the 2-600 will be a Tamron product? It's an interesting question, but I really expect it to be. That's Nikon themselves building that lens.
Yeah,
But who knows?
Too long for it to be a Tamron product too.
Yeah. Does Tamron have a 2-600 in their inventory for anybody? I don't know.
50 to 6?
I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, Roy's talking about that too. It's unlikely to be a Tamron product. Long glass, too specialized. That's interesting. I'd like some Zeiss glass for the Z mount. I hear you, Roy.
Yeah,
Nikon needs to work with Zeiss like Sony did and get us some Zeiss Nikon glass.
How about work with Leica?
Oh yeah. I don't know anything about Leica, but I know everything I've heard about Leica. A lot of people are Leica fans for glass.
Leica.
Oh. Get this straight. I'm the guy who relies on electrical tape and Teflon tape. Don't confuse me, but duct tape with the duct tape boy. Oh man. They have a 150 to 600 is what Jeff and Leslie say. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, and they got a 100 to 4 as well.
Mm-hmm. So is that going to become one of those things where, are we going to start going down that road? Did Tamron secretly make the 1-400 that Nikon has? Or, just another way to kick Nikon? Hey, Photo Me Ike. Hey, buddy, I sent you a link. I know you're quite busy most of the time, but you're welcome to join if you like. And Leica is part of the L-Mount Alliance.
If you start kicking Nikon over that, it's kind of funny because then you should be kicking Sony in the fact that they had to rely on third-party lenses for them to have any glass for their camera bodies when they came out. But they won't. But if they choose to beat up on Nikon because they have an affiliation with Tamron or an agreement with Tamron, but then they're okay that Sony's been using everybody else for many, many years, then you speaketh with forked tongue, as I say. At that point, you can't have your cake and eat it too. So pick what side you want to be on.
Yeah. I'm tired of even bashing, Sony or whatever. I mean, they're doing fine now.
Yeah, they did what they had to do. End of discussion. Worked for them. Nobody forced people to buy the third-party lenses. They made that choice on their own.
Mm-hmm.
That simple as that. No.
There you go, Martin. Can you get us a? Go ahead, Maz.
Ironically, Jeff had his cake and ate it right before the stream.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, Martin, can you get us a discount from Leica?
I would love to take a Leica tour.
I'll throw it a dot to give you as a parting gift, like a red dot button that you could wear proudly on your shirt.
All right, Ike. Here you go. Here's the statement. This is a statement of all statements. Chuck, a good lens is a good lens regardless of who makes it, as far as I'm concerned. I absolutely agree with that. I mean, what kind of an idiot wouldn't agree with that? We'll find out in a bit, I'm sure, from somebody. Everybody welcome Mr. Photo Me Ike. We have a true celebrity in the house.
Uh-oh.
Well, we had a true celebrity. Hope you enjoyed his appearance. There you go, Ike.
I'll switch my camera around and wait, hold on. Let me just go back to work so I can see the comments.
Oh.
Usually when Ike does that, he has something to rant about.
Yep. To rant or to enlighten us about.
Okay, so look, we're not going. No, never mind. Is someone still here? Okay, no, man, he's not here. Never mind.
All right, buddy.
You know, I normally wouldn't try to join conditions, but you know, out of respect to Chuck the God, I had to hop on.
Thank you. I'm humbled, not deserving, but I'm humbled.
You know what? I gotta get it. I just gotta go for my phone. Forget my setup, and then I got kicked out of my normal space anyway. So we should see if I can.
Has Mama taken over the? Is Mama taking over the office? Tosh told you get out of the office.
Yeah, I'm in the pantry now.
Oh,
your audio sounds good.
I'm on my iPhone, like this little stuff.
All right. There you go, man. Whatever space works, right? Oh, there we go. Lost him again.
Jeff was letting his dog out, so he'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, I want Mosman's perspective on the Canon thing.
On the lenses, the third party?
The backlash.
Yeah, I think it's funny. I think a month ago, nobody really cared, right? And then all of a sudden, you know, they had that dispute with Viltrox, or, you know, somebody found out that they were going to, I think it was through a text message or something like that, or online chat. But, you know, ever since then, like, there's this backlash against Canon. But a month ago, nobody seemed to really care. So I don't know. I see it as a whole lot of nothing. I mean, if you're a Canon shooter, you're probably not going to dump all your gear because you can't get a Sigma or a Tamron lens for that mount coming up in the near future. So I don't know.
No, I agree. I agree for the photographers out there that are invested in Canon. I don't think it's a big deal, but for any new folks that are just getting into Canon, you know, it could be something that they are complaining about it. Is it going to hurt Canon? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't see it either. I think it's just one of those things. It's negative, you know, it's a way to bash a brand. So it's going to make its news cycle, and it is what it is. I mean, Nikon was in that same situation not too long ago.
Yep. And maybe while Nikon was quick to answer with their collaboration with Tamron, thinking that might gain them some ground. Not that I believe it will.
What do you mean? What are y'all talking about?
Talking about the backlash Canon got on we're not going to let anybody make any third-party lenses, at least right now. You froze on me.
Yeah, I think you froze. Unless he's speechless.
I got to wait till he gets in here solid. Hopefully he gets in here.
Wait, hey, what were you guys just talking about Tamron?
Well, it depends on which episode you were in, because you've been in, out, and you're hearing bits and pieces. But anyway, talking about Canon and the backlash they got for not allowing third-party lens production. And Nikon made the was quick to jump on that, it seems, bandwagon of, we've just struck a deal with Tamron, and here's what you can expect from us and Tamron. I think it might have been a little bit of Nikon saying, here's the opportunity, we were going to do this, but let's talk about it now, since Canon has come out and boldly stated no third-party lenses.
Well, okay, so I'll say that technically Canon didn't come out and say they were forced, their hand was forced when somebody let the cat out of their bag, And, I think Nikon, none of these people never really make announcements that says, hey, like, we're allowing the other mounts. I don't think Sony ever really made that. I think it happened and it was just like available. But ultimately I feel like that was a mistake, and I've seen like a few people trying to justify it, like, oh, they're protecting the lineup, and these people broke patents and blah blah blah. And I'm like, it's all excuses. It's all BS in my opinion, because if you are talking customer first, the more options for the customer, the better it is. The better the big picture. Like, not everybody that shoots with the brand use the brand lenses, and there's some snobs like myself who don't care because we don't buy third-party lenses. It is what it is. No.
But you
No.
do.
Yeah, I do. I'm just being funny.
Yeah, he's lying about that one. We're gonna do a fact check. Wait a minute, folks. We're gonna look this up.
No, but so Viltrox sent me the 13 1.4, right? That's the first 1.4 lens I've ever seen from Viltrox, or even really like one of the quote unquote lower third party, because there's levels to third party. There's Sigma, Tamron, and then there's Viltrox, Miyake, and those rest of those guys, right? Viltrox has kind of been in that Miyake, Samyang level, whereas like
Yeah.
when people say third party, they really mean Tamron and Sigma, because if you really want to be honest, Viltrox, Samyang, they've all been making lenses for these. They're like, oh no, third party, but like Viltrox has like 8 lenses out for the Nikon system. That's third party support.
Yeah.
So is Miyake, right? So when we say third party, we really mean Tamron and Sigma, right? But I opened up that 13 1.4 and I was like, oh, this is different. Like, this is not like the other Viltrox lenses. This is a thicker, it's like a nice premium build. It's a 1.4. I haven't looked at the images, so I don't know how sharp or the picture quality is, but Viltrox lenses are solid lenses. I've never seen a crappy Viltrox lens, at least in the mirrorless range, right? Maybe back in the day, but I've never seen a bad Viltrox lens. And so I'm like, this is the lens that Nikon has been missing for the APS-C, and because they didn't crap on Viltrox and say, hey, you violated whatever you did, or you reverse engineered our situation, they just let it ride, and that's great for people like us. That lens would be very, very crucial for somebody who just bought an R7 or R10, because that's a wide angle 1.4 lens. I don't think I'm not like 100% familiar with Canon's lineup, but I don't think Canon has a wide angle fast aperture lens like that exists. Sony just came out with those lenses like a few months ago.
Okay. So the whole debacle with Canon, you think, is, nothing really to even talk about? I don't think it is either. I think, I kind of understand why Canon would do that, and that's fine. Let Canon do what they want. My whole point was, it was interesting that Nikon at the same time just about came out with, and I know it's coincidental, but Nikon came out with hey, we're partnering with Tamron, and we're going to have, here are the lenses that we're partnering on with them. I just found it pretty coincidental.
I will say that Tamron, even though Tamron made that announcement, they dropped the ball on that announcement too, my friend. So I feel some kind of way about the lens. I'm like, yeah, that's a lens nobody wants, for the most part. Hey, you guys, you did a partnership. Isn't
that a good thing though? Isn't that a good thing? There are certain lenses that most people don't want, and a third party maker may have those lenses already with other brands or in other mounts or whatever, and then they can turn around, if you're partnering with a OEM company, and build it to their specs or change the mount to their specs or whatever. Isn't that a good thing though? Because for those that want that weird whatever lens, and Nikon's never going to build that, a third party maker can do it. Isn't that a good thing?
No, what I feel like Nikon should have did is, hey, we partnered up with Tamron, and we're excited for them to be able to provide affordable, great options for our customers in the future, starting off with this lens and more to come, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't think that Nikon should say affordable options, because it's kind of telling everybody, hey, you can't afford us.
Okay, well, you know what I mean? Like something within that range, because then it's like, okay, well, they allow Tamron, but are they going to allow, because Nikon just licensed the 17 to 28 and the 28 to 75. Those are 2 lenses that I would have expected to be coming from Tamron, but they're not. They're coming from Nikon now, right? So we're not going to get those lenses from Tamron. with the Tamron, because of course lenses that come from Nikon also come with a Nikon price tag. Even though it's optically the same exact lens, it comes with a Nikon price tag. If you want to talk about the Nikon compatibility, warranty, all of that stuff that comes with the Nikon name, that also is included in the price tag. Whereas if it just had the Tamron name on it, it might be $200-300 cheaper, just for the simple fact of that. So
Right.
you have to account for that part of it. So we're not going to get those lenses from Tamron. What else is Nikon going to take from Tamron and put under their name, as opposed to letting us get those lenses from Tamron? So that's why I feel like if they, oh geez.
Well, I think when they got the 28 to 75, though, it's my understanding that it's not an exact line-to-line replica of the Tamron lens. That when it got badged Nikon, they added extra weather sealing to it and did a few other things to make it a little bit more Nikon-ish, if you want to say, whatever, versus the Tamron version. I don't know that they're exactly the same when it has the Nikon name on it.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know if the Tamron has weather sealing or not. So I think the Tamron actually might. I'm not sure. I can't.
Okay.
Speak on that.
Okay. I want to add something to that before you answer. I do believe that there is a difference in the lenses when Nikon rebrands it, and I may be completely wrong. You guys can weigh in, but I think that Nikon uses their focusing AF system in the and you can tell me too, Ike, what you saw in the 28 to 70, whatever that
Well,
lens
so
is.
yeah, no, that part. So here's the thing, the Tamron focus is like as good as any other Nikon lens that I own. It's probably not the fastest focus, but it's not the worst. Seems like it's actually, to me, it's just as good as the S lenses. As far, in my opinion, like I haven't done any tests. I haven't tested it against the 24 to 70, but at the same time, I own a few Viltrox lenses, and they focus just as good. And they might not have the Nikon, approved focusing metric in it. So I mean, I use this mega adapter with Sony lenses, and that thing is like pretty spot on. So I feel like even that, it's like, yeah, Nikon might have put their sauce in it, their actual, which might be a little bit more reliable. But I mean, I guess it depends on the lens and the application, like how much of a difference that would have made if Tamron would have did the same thing. And then in terms of like picture, because I've used the Tamron, those equivalent lenses on the Sony system. I've used the 28 to 75 on the Sony. I've used the 720 on the Sony. I've even used the 70 to 180 on the Sony. And those lenses are just as good as any other Sony lenses from Tamron. That's why I like when people say, oh, it's Tamron. Like, you guys don't understand. Like, these lenses are great lenses. These are actually really good lenses. They just don't say S mount or SS, whatever that
Well, look,
moniker is.
I hear you, and I quote you quite often, by the way, Mr. Ike, when I say it's good enough, and I think that that's a valid response to a lot of things when people are talking about, well, it's not as sharp or vignettes or whatever, and then but is it good enough? I mean, considering the price difference, is it good enough? And a lot of people will answer that with, yes, it is. It's good enough. I like it. It's not that far off from OEM lens.
The point of it's good enough. It's good enough in 2022 is way different from it's good enough in 2002, right? The lenses that were good enough in 2002 would not even make the cut for it's good enough in 2022 because of the technology and things like that. So you also have to take into account like how much better these lenses are than they were 10, 15 years ago.
I agree. And I think everybody will agree. Sigma and Tamron both, just using those two, have significantly improved their development and manufacturing. I think a lot of people look at the Sigma 105 that everybody bought because it was cheaper than the Nikon 105. Yeah, albeit it's a boat motor or an anchor for the Sigma, but I mean, how many people bought it because it was cheaper and it was just as good? And of course, those that bought it said it was better.
The 105, the Sigma 105.
Yeah,
I can speak from experience. That lens cannot handle. It's great in good light and good. Sorry, guys. in good light and in good conditions, it's comparable. It's pretty much down there the same. But you get some sun into you, if there's a little bit of flare, the Sigma falls apart. The Nikon doesn't. I've tested them both, so I can speak from. And that's things that people don't talk about is what a lens flare and all of that other stuff. Those little details that matter too.
That's what that's why you got to have a lens tested by somebody that would never buy it and somebody that did buy it. And then you put the two together and you find the truth, because you're right. There's it's not buyer's remorse, but I bought this thing and I'm only going to talk about how good it is because I bought it, and I don't want people to think that, whatever. So yeah, I know you got to take every review with a grain of salt, whether it's I own it or I'm just reviewing it. No doubt about that. So you're right. But a lot of people did talk up that lens.
That's one of the biggest differences, though, that comes up between a native glass versus third-party glass many a times is the different types of coatings that are on the native glass and how many layers of coatings they put on their lenses and that type of thing versus the third-party lenses. And that's lots of times where they fall short. Like Ike's saying, you get a little sun in there, you get too much flare. That's all coatings.
Yeah.
That's mostly coatings. So you have to understand what coatings are on there. And when somebody says, well, this brand that's half the price is just as good as the Nikon or just as good as the Canon glass, be careful.
Jeff, that's an excellent point. So when you're talking about cost of lenses and depending on the coatings in the glass, it's not just the glass manufacturer, but the coatings. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's some of the things you're paying for until other third party. And I don't know if these things are patented, the coatings they use. I have no idea. But if it's not, until they start using some of these coatings that OEM manufacturers have developed, then it is always going to have some not significant, but some small thing that it's not as good at, whether it's flare or whatever with these new coatings. So that is a valid point when you're talking about the price difference too. You agree, Ike, or no?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that those things, so in defense, like as I just made a criticism of the Sigma, in defense of that, if you just avoid backlight situations, you won't be able to tell the difference. And so, or if you're somebody who likes lens flare, then that this is the lens to go for. So it's like somebody made a point that was like the Sigma 500 is like 95% of the Canon one at half the price. And if you find yourself shooting in 95% of those situations, you're fine. But then those 5% where like your job is on the line, the Canon might be worth double the price because of that 5%. But for me, or for a lot of people, maybe not. And so, I mean, I would also
good enough.
Yeah, and my point, like going back to the Sigma, it doesn't handle flare in my testing that I've seen, that I've used, and also like I do kind of appreciate that the Nikon version is a little bit small. I mean, the Nikon version is huge too, but it doesn't come across as big as the Sigma. That also is there's a little bit of a weight savings or a size savings for your bag. So things like that make me lean towards the Nikon version. So go ahead.
Yeah, Vaughan, Mozman, Jeffrey, you guys weigh in on this conversation. I don't want to,
Well, I think the big thing here is.
But before you get started, Jeffrey, I'm turning the reins over to you because I'm well past my go to the bathroom break. I'm authorized by the YouTube live stream union. So I'm gonna go do that. And I'm gonna tell you, Ike, if you fall out while I'm gone, brother, you can't get back till I get back to the chair here. All right, guys. I hate to miss this piece, but I gotta go. I'll be right back.
Basically, you get what you pay for, man. I mean, that my experience has been get what you pay for. But as far as us Z shooters, man, the more options we have at our disposal, I welcome it, man. Why not?
Okay, so go ahead.
Good. It's like, are you a professional where you're making money with your camera, where every shot could count, and that one shot where you handle the flare better ends up being some award-winning picture that you get and you make money off of? then it sure as heck matters. If you're a hobbyist and you don't, it's just for your own enjoyment. If you miss a shot like that, it's probably like, oh, no big deal. I'll get another one another day. And so it all depends on your situation. And as Mr. Irwin likes to say, your use case, right? If you're relying on it to make a living, then you're looking for a little bit higher integrity of every product that you buy, because you can't have it you can't have the gear let you down. You don't want the gear. If you have something that doesn't work out, you want it to be because you messed up, not because your gear didn't do the job. You want it to become more on you, where you did something wrong, But your hobby doesn't matter.
I agree. You get what you pay for. You also get who you pay for. That's also a statement. You get who you pay for, and it's relative to what you pay for it. Going back again to my Tamron argument, like that new Tamron 17 to 20, it's $1,100. Like, that's not cheap. That's way more affordable than the 24, or was it 14 to 24? It's way more affordable.
Oh yeah.
But $1,200 is still not a cheap. It's not a cheap lens. It's not a cheap price. No. So
it's only about $100 less than the 14 than the 14 to 30 f4.
Yeah.
Oh, and the 14 to 30 f4 is an S series lens. So you got to say, do I want to spend $100 more and get the f4 S series lens, or lose a stop and get the 2.8? That's not a S series lens. Me personally, I'd rather get the 14 to 30 f4.
Yeah, I'm a 2.8 guy. I want the 2.8. So.
There's a videographer that that I work with. If you look at his work, I mean, the quality is so good. And I was working with him in Vegas, and he uses a Sigma 35, and I was like, dude, to me, if you can get the job done and you're doing, because James asked right here, he goes, would you want to see a wedding photographer charge $5,000 and use third-party lens? For me, man, that really won't factor into the equation at all. If I like someone's work, I wouldn't care.
Hey, you know why you say that, Vahagan? Because you've been through that exact situation. Your Nikon was considered a third-party piece of equipment. When you said, hey, that person didn't want to hire me because I shot Nikon, it's the same argument. It's like, oh, now I'm getting hired based on the brand I use as opposed to the quality of work I can produce.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which, that's not a great way of looking at things, in my opinion. Like, who cares what they show with? And honestly, a lot of times these people show up with these expensive things to justify the price, not to give you a better quality product. They just want to say, hey, you're paying this much because I shoot with this brand or these fancy lenses or blah, blah, blah. When really the work is no different than the next person that shot what, entry-level gear and entry-level equipment. But that's just me. I've seen it. I've seen it.
But for me, it's like, I'd rather have native Nikon lenses. I pay the extra money and I buy Nikon. But like I said, some lenses are great. There's a Sigma lens that is really good, and then there's a few Viltrox lenses that I like. That 13 millimeter, man, I have it. It's built very well.
You get better deals.
And like it's funny. When I look back at all of my purchases, I'm the same way. Like I support third party. I think they're great options. But the only time I've ever really bought a third party.
I got back just in time.
Chuck came back and cut him off, cut the feed right off. The timing couldn't have been better, Chuck. He was really going to go on a rant, and you cut him right.
Yeah.
Boom. That's it.
Looks like we got a sale for your Z9. Greg said he'd pay $3,500 for it, so we got to box that up after this. Oh
man, Greg says I'll take it. Hey,
I'll tell you,
well,
I used my D850 the other day for the first time in a while, and I started to forget about how to use it.
welcome back, Mr.
Pretty
Ike.
nice.
Hey, hang on just a second. So it's time for the shameless plug on my end. Folks, if you're new here and you haven't been around, this is what we do. We just get in here and talk. Again, trying to bring the chatters into the conversation. Uh, recommend everybody that's in here right now as a guest, you watch the chat as well. I know you do, Ike, because you often, well, when you're not popping in and out, you often respond to it. But if you like it, you want to join our community, by all means do, please. And for those that, if you enjoy the conversation, whether you're a subscriber or not, I encourage you to drop a like. It helps me. It makes me feel better. You know, I see that, it's something enjoyable by people and whatever. So help make me feel good and drop a like, I ask. But if so desire, maybe you want to become a subscriber and get in here with us on a regular basis. We do 2 streams a week, a live stream on Wednesday at noon Eastern and a live stream on Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And it's just the same thing. Everybody gets in here, we chat about a certain topic or whatever. Today, it just happens to be the third party lenses that we're concentrating on right now. But this Saturday night, we do a photo review. For those of you that like to join us on our photo review, it's not a critique. Everybody just sends a photo in. I encourage you to drop in here, and I'll drop the email address. You can email me here at AP Studios through chuckomail@yahoo.com. Send a photo, and I'll put it in the mix for Saturday night. We do it once a month. So, Mozman, radioactive. All right. So, if you like and you'd want to participate in that, just drop a photo in an email as an attachment, put in the subject line something along the lines of photo review or October photo or something like that. So I know as I go through the multitude of emails that I get and can pick it out of the bunch and put it in a folder for Saturday night. And that's about it. I have to do this. I'm obligated to do it by local brotherhood of live streamers on YouTube Union and my wife, who is the head of the union. So there you have it. All right. Back at you.
Ike, how long were you in LA, man? I heard you were in LA.
Oh yeah, I was there for a day. Let me tell you something. My wife's not here.
Oh, she is now. She just cut him off. Bye, Kevin. Glad to see you in here, buddy. I hope you continue to join us. I know you've been a participant, but back to, for those that want to be a subscriber, please like and subscribe. Now back to the show with Mr. Ike, who is very mobile today.
Oh my God, I hate this. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
I thought you were either doing dishes or making up some new mechanical device or something in the house.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yep, both.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Hagen asked me about LA, and I went to explain before my phone just kind of did some stupid stuff. Okay, so I don't know if you guys know, I made a spoof about Peter Coulson. Peter Coulson did a Peter Coulson spoof, and that video blew up and went crazy. And so I saw that Peter was going to be doing workshops in the States. He's from Australia. I'm like, hey, he's going to be in LA, and I was like, oh crap, LA. I was like, that's not too far. And so I was like, man, it'd be cool to kind of like do the Be the Bosun skit and meet him as Be the Bosun. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go for it. So I purchased like a 1-day ticket to one of his workshops, and I purchased flights to LA. Now I also had a trip planned to New York like that next weekend because I was in New York. I think was it early this week or last week? It might have been early this week, like this past Monday. We're in New York. Was it? No, because that's Charlotte's wedding.
How come you don't call? How come you don't get a hold of me when you come to New York?
I was only there for. I'll explain that too. I was only there for like a few seconds, but
That's why I want to ask Ike.
So no. To my point about LA, I was like, oh, I'll go in that day because I was trying to figure out how to make it work. So I ended up buying a ticket for the Sunday because he had a 3-day workshop, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I bought a Sunday seat. And I was like, oh, I'll fly in that morning and then leave the next day. So it was literally in and out trip. And
Okay.
so I bought tickets weeks ago, right? Thinking, oh, I'm good. The night before, I'm doing all this, I'm getting prepared for it. The night before, about 2:00 in the morning, right? Mind you, I have to fly out my flight was supposed to leave at 6 a.m. that Sunday morning. I'm up
Yeah.
Saturday night, just trying to get ready, prepared, batteries charged, all that stuff. I said, something told me, let me just get online and check my ticket just to make sure, like, I'm on time and everything. I get on, I check my ticket. It says September 18th, 6 a.m. Mind you, this is September 11th, the day I'm supposed to go. It says September 18th, 6 a.m. CA to LAX. And I'm like, September 18th? But today I'm supposed to go. And I'm like, there's got to be some mistake or something. Because I'm supposed to go next week to New York. And that trip is up there. So I'm looking at the oh my God, my daughter. So I'm looking at the I'm looking at the description. I'm like, this isn't right. And I'm like, please don't tell me I brought the wrong date for my ticket. And so I was like, crap. So I went into a mad scramble to try to like cancel my tickets and read, but it wouldn't let me redo them. It was like, you can redo them, but like it's gonna cost you twice as much. So, and my wife's up there asleep because I told her I got it under control. I brought my own tickets. Don't worry about it. You already know.
Yep.
So she sleep upstairs, and I'm like, oh crap, I messed up. Like I don't even have I'm getting ready to go somewhere where I don't even have a flight to that I already paid $800 and don't even know how to get there. I'm like, my ticket's done. So I'm like, I'm gonna cancel the flight. I'm gonna rebook a flight. My wife's waking up, getting ready because we had to leave at it was like 3:00, and we had to leave because I had to get to the airport by like 4 because the flight leaves at 6. So you got to get to the airport by like 4 something, 2 hours early.
Right.
And it's 3:00 in the morning. I'm trying to buy a ticket to LA. And so I managed to find the same, because a lot of flights have the same flights, like every week is the same thing. So I managed to buy a flight to LA on the exact same time I use my miles. I use my miles to buy both there and back on Alaska Airlines. But when I bought the new ticket, the miles that I got for both there and back cost me just to get there. So I still use my miles to get there, but I had to pay out of pocket for another ticket. And then the flights back were like not working. So I bought a flight back. And so anyways, we leave and we go there, and then my wife's like, yeah, you good? I'm like, yeah, I got it. I didn't mention. I still haven't told her to this day.
You'll know now.
She sees it. It's been done now. I'm there and back. But I get, to the airport, right? So I'm like, I got a ticket. Everything's good. Exact same ticket, same time. I get there, flight gets delayed. I get on the plane. There's an issue with the plane. They have a sit on the tarmac. First we leave like 30 minutes late, then an hour late, then 2 hours late. And so the flight that I was supposed to get was supposed to have me land there at 8:50. The workshop starts at 10 o'clock. I'm like, I'll get there an hour early. It'll give me an hour to get through security, get through the airport, and take an Uber or get a ride to the place, and I'll get there right on time, right? The place was like 30 minutes from the airport. Man, I didn't land in LA until like about 11:30.
Oh man.
Exactly. And the workshop started at 10. I was just beyond frustrated. I'm like, so first I didn't have a flight to get here. I had to buy a whole new flight, spend extra money to get here. I go through all that trouble just to get there 2 hours late. I was just like, I was annoyed. So, but the rest of the day, it worked out. I got there and everything worked out. And then the workshop ended at 5. And
welcome to LA.
Right, yeah.
That's the LA life. Look
here, though. Let me tell you something. I was in bed out because a friend had picked me up and took me back to the hotel. And I just spent the night. I just went back to the hotel. I didn't do anything. I went after the workshop. Like I left, a friend picked me up. We drove around. We took the long road through Beverly Hills and all that stuff. Beverly Hills is beautiful, bro. It is beautiful. Let me tell you something. The light, that California light, is just a different kind of light. It's a different
Next time you come out, I'll take you to some spots, man.
Yeah, but I went back to my hotel because it was like literally, and then my flight was like about 8 o'clock the next morning. So it was literally like, so I didn't even have enough time to like hang out or do anything. Although if you wanted to come to the hotel and look stupid and look at my face and look stupid, you could have. But I was tired. I didn't sleep that night, so as you can see. But it was fun.
I enjoyed the video though. I really did. Did he ever get to see your spoof on him that you know of?
Yeah, he commented on. So I made a vlog about it because I was also part of the trip. Part of it was like, hey, I get to meet Peter Coulson, but also this is also an excuse for me to make a vlog, right? A whole lot. Like, imagine flying to LA just to make a vlog for YouTube. But I was like, there's multiple layers to like the content that I can create. Like it's a chance for me to do something, but it's also a chance for me to make some content with this camera. And actually, I had reached out to Viltrox like a week before, so I was hoping I was going to get that lens before I landed it. The lens came in the next week. I was like, crap! It came in when I was I missed it from New York too, which sucked. Anyways, but yeah, it was also a way for me to make a vlog for the Z30 to create more content. So I was like, I'll create a thing out of this. But he commented on the video, like on the vlog where I talked about his workshop. He commented and was like, "Oh, this is so cool!" And I saw the thing, and like he was real cool about it. He thought it was funny.
Yeah, I love his videos. I love his work. It's one of those kind of inspiring guys to watch. All black and white. His black and whites are fantastic. You can try to emulate it, but it's really difficult to do. He's definitely got his process down.
He has his process down. He has the space. He has a huge space, and he's been doing it for a really long time.
Yeah. I mean, he started out in product photography, and some of the things he has in his studio, I mean, are just unbelievable. That overhead system that he has to shoot product photography, man, is just phenomenal. Yeah. And it's another thing I don't need it, but I want that. Not that I'll ever have it.
Hey, did you get the Hollyweird attitude LA photographer vibe when you were there?
Not to my. I guess maybe a few people might have felt like but like I wasn't there for them. I was there for Peter, so I didn't really care per se. And then like part of it that sucks is like I was supposed to. Had I would have gotten there early, it would have been a whole scheme. Like I would have walked up and been like, "Hey guys, be the boss, and I'm gonna be introduced." And then Peter I would have tried to make it a whole thing. Like I would introduce myself, but like because I didn't get there till 12:30, I'm trying to find out how to get into the place. So that's awkward because it was behind like this. It was in Dust Studios. I don't know if you know about Dust Studios, but like this like
is this in Hollywood? Are you in Hollywood?
Yeah, it was in West Hollywood. What's the WeHo? What y'all call it? Whoa, whatever it is.
Oh, by Ivar?
I don't know. I just know it was in Hollywood, West Hollywood.
Hollyweird.
But yeah, so like this place is like a compound. You gotta get through a gate. You gotta get buzzed in. So it's not like a studio you can knock on. He can answer. I get in. I walk around, and it's hot. And he's teaching, and I have to walk past everybody and say hi. And I got my camera bag and my luggage because I flew in to fly out, so I had carry-on. Yeah, so it was just like, it was just frustrating getting in there.
Hey, so. I want to go back to one thing you were talking about. I know you talked about it in your video too, not that video, but maybe it was, I don't know. But you had talked about you're going to do some more work with the Z30 because you got to send it back to Nikon soon.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't they gift you one like they did T-Mid?
Funny you mentioned that. I thought about that this morning.
Oh, trying to start it. Oh, this is it.
In my head,
it. Show's over.
Yeah. In my head, I was like, look, I'm like, they only get sent in with 30. I have to send it back in 30 days. So I was like, crap, I need to do a review because I've been thinking about like what I'm gonna do with this lens, with the Viltrox lens, how I'm gonna test it, and what I'm gonna use it for in content for the Z30. And then I was gonna make like a quick video and say, hey guys, I got the Z30, but I got to return it. Apparently, gift like the other guys did. But I was gonna. It's funny you mention that because I thought it did. Literally went through my head this morning as I was like, should I make a comment how I didn't get it as a gift? As much lenses have I sold for Nikon and fighting the good fight. But you know what? I'm gonna let that go because.
You know why? Oh. You know why you didn't?
Why?
Because he didn't get a mention by Nikon on Instagram. So guess what, Vahagan? You're in.
What
No,
you mean?
man.
What was that? What was that about? I
T-Mid
missed that.
got a mention by Nikon on the Nikon Instagram page.
Oh, well, you know, T-Mid is a much safe. I'll say this: T-Mid is safer than me. I'm a little bit on edge. So,
But
and when I say that, I mean by the content that I make and by my opinions. Okay, I'm a little bit
well,
all over the place. So,
yeah, well, if it's opinions, then Nikon's never even going to, I can contact them. Hey, how about sending me crickets? You can guarantee
yeah.
that.
So, look,
Well, I'm
Yeah.
still waiting.
it's funny because like now that it's kind of because it's like now that I do stuff, I'm like, damn it, Nikon might see this. I'm like, oh,
It's all right. Just be yourself, man. I'm still waiting for my gift.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I say you're in, because if they recognize you on their Instagram channel, maybe that's the key to, get ready for a gift.
The amount of lenses Ike and I sell for Nikon, it's like, seriously. But hey, I have a question for Ike, man. Did you feel a difference when you were in LA versus, you know how you go to these meet and greets in Seattle and the guys over there versus LA? Did you feel a difference in vibe?
Not really. Like, I think I don't know if it was necessarily LA or if it was just the crowd, like the crowd that's drawn to Peter. Because I have to also take into account that like maybe he draws a certain type of folk to his workshops, whereas a certain type of people might show up to mine or Guiona's workshop or so like that could be because a few people weren't from there. Like one of the guys was from Seattle. I don't know if you can hear me. One of the guys that was there, he was from Seattle. There's another guy that was from Florida, but he was there for work. So at least two of the people I talked to weren't from there. So as I wasn't from there, and there was only 15 people. It was like limited to 15. So, and then
Hey,
there
how
was
much
some
was
people
this?
who I
How
thought
much
were a
was
little
this ticket?
eccentric.
How much was his ticket?
So his workshop was like $1,800 for all 3 days, or you could do individual. And so you could do. There was two natural lights, there was one natural light and then two workshop. There was like working with natural light, and then there was basic studio and then advanced studio. And I took the advanced studio. It was 500, 800, and 800. So, or you can do all three for $1,800.
Nice.
Okay.
So I paid 800 for my spot on the Sunday, or I could have did 1,800 for all three. And so I was like, you know what? I'll spend the 800 for just that day and just show up and do that thing. Which $1,800 is not cheap at all. It's not cheap. So,
but
I hope.
From what I understand, and you can answer this, from what I understand, he's a fantastic teacher, though, when he's in one of those workshops.
I said this he's better. Oh my God. Wait a second. I'll get yours. He's better in person than he is on screen, which is rare because some people, you meet him in real life and they're like, some people are the same and that's cool, but he's even better because he's just very warm, welcoming. He just will share. He has a lot of stories to tell. He talks about how he shot this one lady. I don't know who she is, but I don't pay attention to that stuff. But he flew in. They had her shoot for like a day. She had this apartment and she had these like written songs by one of the I think it was like one of the Beatles or somebody that like wrote like his music and gave her the envelope. It was crazy. Basically, what I'm saying is he has had some pretty cool experiences to like say like, man, this guy's really done a lot. He's been through a lot, and so you got to respect him in what he does.
So his teaching and everything's great, but he's also an entertainer, so to speak. He keeps the audience entertained as he's doing it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and I honestly didn't even pay attention to his teachings because I just was there to meet him. I didn't come to learn. Up. I told Beck, I was like, Beck, I paid $800 to come say hi to Peter. Early. Not even that. I paid like because it was a ticket was like another $300. So I paid like $1,200 just to say hi to Peter early. Peter Colton. I ain't come to learn anything.
You should have just crashed the party, man.
I could have bought that 17 to 28. If I knew that coming, I would have bought that instead of paying out there. But that's how I just, and granted, the money that I made from the videos more than covered, so I'm not tripping off of the money that's been coming. Like, look, I just look at it as it just going in a full circle. Like the videos went viral. I made a lot of money from those videos. Let me just put it back into the system and use this money to meet him and say hi, and just, you know, even if I break even, like I have that content, I have experience, you know, for the record. And so I wasn't tripping about the money per se. And like I said, he was teaching some really cool stuff. He, like, just how he goes about posing is cool, but also like his type of work isn't necessarily the type of work I do. Like I just do that stuff for fun. Like I'm still a wedding photographer at the end of the day. Like, I don't necessarily want to shoot models, or, you know, it's as nice as that is. Like I'm perfectly fine being a wedding. Put it that way.
Watch out, Chuck. There's a mountain lion next to you.
Yeah, you missed me while I was gone. So
You're a wedding photographer. I want to see more of that in your channel.
I was live at a wedding on my YouTube channel. I went live at I was like, I'm the first YouTuber to go live at a wedding. I had to flex that. Live on YouTube.
live YouTube.
Yeah, no.
Cool.
I vlogged the wedding that I need to make it up. So
I don't know if you all can hear the mower going on outside. I brought my brother back up here to help me with some other stuff with the house, and he's out mowing the lawn. I said, don't mow out in front while I'm on a live stream. Well, you can see how that's going.
Thought it was the cat purring.
Yeah, he does purr about that loud. And there he goes. He just had to show everybody that he owns me. So I guess we lost Ike for a minute.
Well, Ike, it was interesting when he said, I paid $800 just to meet him.
Yeah.
I'm thinking just paying just to meet Jared Polin.
There you go.
You'd have to pay me to go meet him.
He doesn't hang out.
No, but it'd make an interesting video, you know.
Getting locked out of Poland's studio.
That'd be awesome, man.
Now that would be a viral video, getting tossed by Jared Polin.
No, seriously, like I think he offers these one-on-ones for a certain price.
Yeah.
You know, I'd pay it, and I'd have my camera crew follow me around.
There you go. There you go.
We'll sign up as part of your crew.
Steve, open the effing door. Steve.
I don't know if you heard that, Ike. Vahagen's gonna get on one of his pay to go to Jared Polin's one-on-ones. Take his
Does he
do
one-on-ones?
Yeah, if the price is right.
Can do a video
If the
asking
price is right. What does that mean? Supposed to set the price?
No, he does. He does one-on-ones.
What camera comes in?
I don't know.
What camera brand do you think of?
I don't know, but that'd be awesome.
It's Sony.
Cut.
No,
but I think he'd know what I'm up to, you know.
Oh yeah.
Well, and so that was a funny thing. Like,
Well, it is a funny thing.
Throw back me.
I feel bad for those of you that don't know. We don't ever have this trouble whenever we have Photo Me Ike on, but I think he's playing Stay-at-Home Dad today, and that's a noble cause. So, you know, we'll cut him some slack for having to keep joining. Talking about
I'm
you,
about to give up on life. I'm about to go jump off a bridge. I see you. I'll be back. You got anything?
Well, no, it's fine, brother. I said he's playing Stay-at-Home Dad today. It's a noble cause. So, you know, we put up with it.
Look, I'm gonna, you know, do whatever more because I got to do later tonight in the studio. So, you know, I made the joke yesterday.
About time.
I wanted the bottom right hand corner, man.
Yeah, Jeffrey just had to switch seats again.
Yeah.
he does that periodically. He gets tired in one spot.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I was saying that like I didn't mention it because I didn't know if he had seen it. Like he didn't say anything, and
Yeah.
so I didn't like. But I figured you see a black guy with glasses, with a shirt, with a black and white model, with blue jeans, and I just was like, I know people are gonna see me like, what the hell? And it made it more awkward because I showed up late, and it was like everybody's there listening to him speak, and then I come in ruffling feathers, looking just like him. It was like, but I just
People thought it was probably a spoof.
Yes, I was like, what? That was like, is this punk or something? Like, what's going on here? Who's this guy? But I paid, so I'm not like, look, I paid. I'm showing up. What it is.
Hey, let me ask you this: did anybody there recognize you? Anybody that was one of the guests or whatever?
Not that I know of. Like, you know how some people see you, but they don't want to say. Nobody appeared to have recognized me. And I even mentioned it. I was trying to figure out how could I slide in like this whole joke. And so when he was talking about actually, so in the beginning of the video, when he's talking about competition and stuff, because he was talking about the South Senkata show, he was like, "Look at this crap." He was talking about, "Yeah, this is shit." And I'm like, "Oh snap, Peters." Yeah, these people all think like how we think. Okay, at the end of the day, they just don't want to say it. So he's like, "Yeah, look at this." He said, "Look at this shit show. Like, you can't teach people." And he was just critiquing the South Senkata like photography competition and
the crap show. Yeah.
Yeah. So crap show. And so he was, joking about that, and then somebody was like, "Yeah," and then I get on YouTube, and he said, sometimes if I want to learn something, I'll get to watch later. He'll add it to watch later, and then he'll like, find it, watch it later. And so I was like, "Oh yeah, you should check out this guy named Beard Bosen being funny." And so he's going to go type it in. He's like, "Well, I'll type it in. Let me this stuff up." And I'm like, "All right, cool." So I made that joke, and then we went on with the day.
Yeah.
And then when I left, he was like, "Yeah, that's a nice shirt you got. Where'd you get the idea?" And I was like, "Oh, this whole thing." And then he was like, "Is it your first time?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's my first time." And I wouldn't normally wear a shirt like that because I got kids, I'm married, it's not
right.
It already gets sticky enough around here as it is what I do. So I'm like, I don't want to push the issue. So I don't wear the shirt, He's like, "I have a wife too, and she's the most jealous person." I'm like, "Yeah, I bet she is." But the women on your shirts make you way more money than the women on my shirts make me. So let's put it that way, okay?
There you go, Vic Romaine. So we agree, Sal is lame, for better words. So it's funny though that he mentions that too. That's wild.
Who mentioned that?
Peter.
Oh yeah. And so I actually got it on video, but I didn't want to put that. I didn't want him to be seen in that light, so I cut that footage out. But I was recording the whole time when he was talking about the things. Like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that. And so I was like, what? I'm not gonna put him out there. So I'll clip that part out. But he was just like, "Yeah, this is crap." And going to Sal, like I've seen Sal. I met him in person. Like he's dancing with when we used to go to workshops back in the day at WPBI. He's dancing with my wife. She pulled her out of the crowd, and like he's a fun guy. Like he's a very good salesman, a very good hustler, but he also sometimes I think he's full of crap. So I'll just say that much.
Hey, speaking of that, let's jump to that real quick because we're all still planning. I'm going to keep harping on this. We're all still planning to go to WPPI this year out in Las Vegas, correct?
Oh, I go. I'm actually part of the board.
Okay, well, get us a discount then, board member.
I'm not have to reach out.
No, man. No, we're planning to go too, so we can link up with everybody that we know on YouTube. A lot of people are already saying they're going to go.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. Although I don't know if I'm doing any big workshops or anything. Actually, I am doing, but it's going to be a small so most of the time you see me there, I'm just going to be hanging out. I don't like people. I don't like crowds. I don't like being the center of attention. I just like being in the wind. So.
Whoa! How you spewing all these lies? I don't like people. I don't like being around people. I don't like being the center of attention.
Really don't.
You take pictures of people that you don't like.
No, I know what you mean.
Wait a
Maybe,
minute.
You
yeah,
know what I mean. You know.
yeah,
you know
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean.
It's just hard to make that statement considering
Yeah.
who you are on YouTube because you're pretty outgoing, buddy.
Yeah. I've got
No,
thousands
and-
of people, pictures of people I don't like. Want to see them?
And I will say that in real life, I'm just as warm and cool as I am. But don't ask me to show up to any like after parties or anything like that. Like I'm like,
Right.
oh, no, you guys are good. And I was in LA, and I was perfectly fine sitting in my hotel room looking stupid the rest of the night.
That would be me too, man. That would be me
I
too.
could have easily been like, "Hey guys, in LA, who wants to meet up?" I didn't say anything. That's why Bahaga didn't know.
Yeah.
Well, I know I'm looking forward to it, getting to meet a bunch of people. See, I can say all this now because I got the buy-in. My wife wants to go to Las Vegas, and that's a great time of the year considering the weather here. So yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, I always go that one time. Every time I come back, it's like I've been gone long enough to like be like, man, I miss this, like the Vegas vibe, the Vegas air. Like I just love it. Yeah, I'm there for a few days. I'm like, all right, I'm back home.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'm not going for the workshops as much as just being on the floor with all the vendors and whatnot.
Yeah, that's the fun part, man. People, you guys on this, like, it's fun, and you never know what can come from. Like, I've dropped the ball. I'm very bad at communicating, but I remember I met some guy at Tamron years ago. He was like, "Here's my card. Take my card." So I was like, "Yeah, I have a YouTube channel. I have like this many subscribers." He was like, "Yeah, take my card." I took his card, never called. I just let it. I was like, whatever. But who knows? I could have been like some Tamron ambassador. Like they could have been sending me.
I was just going to say, especially with what's gone on here recently, yeah, that'd be a great contact, wouldn't it?
I never followed up with the guy, but I mean, for anybody watching, if you are looking to try to get connected like this is where they be at. So
yeah, Mozman, you going to try to make it?
Yeah, it's in March. I plan on being there.
Okay.
Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas.
Maz, aren't you out there in California?
Yeah, I'm in Orange County.
It's a 4-hour drive. Just drive through. It's a day trip.
I'm going. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have to talk Mama into it. I said, "Hey, there's a big photography convention going on in Las Vegas in March." She said, "We're going." Okay.
Oh, yeah. It's easy. Okay. There's no crazy storms usually going on. Like, so there should be like flights.
I never seen Jeff smile so much.
Yeah.
It's called fixident, when you put too much on.
Yeah.
And then your teeth got stuck like this and you can't help it. You
smile
all day.
So everybody out there in the audience wants to join us. We're going to Wppi this year in Las Vegas in March. You need to join us.
If you ask me, hey, Ike, where you headed, and I give you the runaround, I'm probably going to meet up with a baddie, and like I'm going to raise some premium content. So don't ask too many questions. Hey, Ike, what you doing later on today? Oh, I don't know. I'm probably gonna go to the hotel room and chill. And then next thing you see me on live at this desert with.
Yeah,
well,
right.
The thing is,
you're going to
ahead,
Sapphire. Don't lie.
So the thing is, though, you typically did your photo walk. You're going to try to put that together this year?
Well, so I've always done these big ones, like with lots of people. Like I'm like, whoever can fit. Because usually when I price them, I usually try to do these walks to just cover the cost of a trip. Like if I can make enough money to like cover hotel and flights and all that stuff and food or whatever, I'm cool. Like I don't need to make an obscene amount of money. But and those have always been fun, but it's stressful to try to like put that stuff together, especially by yourself. And so when I went there this past time, I saw Ernesto. He was doing a workshop. Hold up a second. 2 months ago. And he had a smaller group of people. And I'm like, man, I want to do something like that where I really get to sit down and teach and share my knowledge, like with a small, intimate group of people. So I want to do something like that, but with less people, but cost more. So if I do one, it'll be that. It'll be like a real small, intimate, but otherwise, I'll just be hanging out. So whoever's doing what, I'll just I'm down to ride or hang out.
So I've noticed in the past the impromptu walk well, if you want to call it that, goes on every night. It seems like.
Well, yeah,
Just
because it's it's Vegas, and Vegas has a lot of attractive people who are willing to come out, and so like we did that before. It was just a bunch of us like, hey, I want to do some stuff, and they're like, I got a person who wants to come out and shoot, and so we just made it happen. It was just
Yeah.
was like, oh, let's just go out and take some pictures. And Vegas is so lit up that even at nighttime, it's still enough light out there. It doesn't feel
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I really am, getting to meet everybody in person and just having a good time. But yeah,
Not getting any sleep because
yeah, I know. I've heard you all talk about that. We'll sleep later.
yeah. It's very, very much a no sleep town. I remember I had did the photo walk the day I did my photo walk. That night we ended up running late and doing pictures again. The next morning I was supposed to do a sunrise session with my girl Tani, and I overslept. It was like, and I was like, hey, can we still go out? And so we didn't catch sunrise. The sun had been up, but we still made some pictures happen. But it was supposed to be sunrise, but I was too tired.
Well, that's good. I'm going to make a streamer to go along the bottom of the screen here before too long, talking about going to WPPI and everybody. We see as many people as we can while we're out there, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to meeting you, Ike. Of course, meeting Vahagan in person, and Mozman and Jeffrey and everybody else in the chat that might want to go. So looking forward to it, man.
And Elvis Presley.
And Elvis, yeah,
All of them.
absolutely.
Yeah, all 10 of them.
Yep.
Fat Elvis, skinny Elvis, young Elvis, old Elvis.
If he doesn't have to work that weekend at
Elvis.
7-Eleven, Elvis has been spotted in more 7-Elevens than anywhere.
He's addicted to the big gulp.
I've been talking on the board to I know the people who run it, and just saying like, hey, like there's a whole community of people on YouTube who I've been trying to get to like come to these events, because there's the quote unquote industry where it's like you have the Jerry Guillonises, the Robert Venezuela, the Bambi Cantrells, people like them, right? Who are like the traditional industry or whatever, or the leaders or whatever. And then you have like the YouTube community, which has its own rock stars or leaders. And those were like the Tony and Chelsea's, Jared Poland's, those type of guys, Peter McKinnon, yeah, those type of people. And so I'm like, yeah, there's a whole world on YouTube and it has its own little community that exists outside of the quote unquote industry. And I'm like, how can we like bridge that gap? Because like if Rangefinder, if they had more social media presence, they could probably get more people to attend.
Hey, let me ask you a question. How I don't know what word to use, but how do you think they would react to going in there and going live in there on the floor?
I do it all the time.
I'm talking about I'm talking about walking in there, setting up a chair and a table, a computer, and going live right there.
Oh yeah, I don't know about that one.
We may have to push the limits and find out what we can get away with. I think that'll be
so
fun.
One, you'd have to have Wi-Fi, because like the signal, good luck with phone signal, like in certain parts of those convention centers. So you'd have to have some kind
bad's the Wi-Fi on the floor in there?
They do, but I think it's like you have to have like a code or something, because they have it for the vendors.
Yeah,
the vendors like have a certain Wi-Fi code that's like really good. So
okay.
I mean, I think you could get away with it.
Well, you're on the board, man. Make it happen.
Oh, geez.
Get him a deal on a booth.
Yeah.
No, I'm just busting your chop, man.
Yeah.
Chuck Talk's booth, man.
Yeah, I'm just
That'd be
busting
cool.
your chop, brother.
That'd be cool.
I could pass it up the chain of command. You'll see.
That'd be cool, like a Comic-Con of like
You're gonna get too
YouTubers.
far up the chain, I don't think, before somebody.
But
somebody
yeah,
breaks
you know
the
what?
law.
It's got me thinking now. It's got me thinking about, and I know that booth space, it's dependent on square footage of the booth and all kinds of things. But, that's one of the things. I wish I had the money to do that, just to put up a little booth and go live, stream, for hours. Because
Well,
how many
so-
people are walking around that would just, hey, come here, sit down a minute, you know? Would that be cool or what?
That would be a great idea. That'd be a great idea. A lot of those companies, so like you might not necessarily be able to do it, but like you might be able to get a company to let you do it at their booth. So per se, like Maston Labs.
I could go get the Nikon guy in a headlock and drag him
You're
over.
not gonna get the Nikon. You're not gonna get the Nikon guys.
You're gonna
No.
talk, maybe. Z8, when's it coming out?
But I like when you were,
But
I like
that's okay. So Chuck, but you can finally show your faces and give your mind, give them your peace of mind to the Nikon folks, because they,
well, I'll do that on the last day, because if I'm going to run out, I want to spend more time. But yeah, absolutely. Because I would corner them when I ask a question and they go, no, I don't know anything. Well, that means you do know something. So now just wink.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But no, I would love to do that, man. It's just kind of a fantasy maybe, but wouldn't that be great to have a booth set up in there with all the people that are walking around in there? Say, hey, come here a minute, join us for just a minute, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
No,
I agree. I think they should do something like that. And if they say no to you, and then you get there and you see a booth with somebody with a WP, I'll be like, wait a second.
Don't think I'm not going to ask some of the smaller booths, hey, I'll plug your products for you, blah, blah, blah. We can say it's sponsored by you, yada, 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 and we're going to go live.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Chuck will say to the Nikon guy, pull on this year if it's March. Pull on this year if it's April.
Yeah.
There'll be plenty of space for you to do it. Like there's so much, it's gotten so much smaller that they have a lot of open space in these conventions. There's like it might be in the back in the corner somewhere, but there's going to be space for it.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. And when he asked me, well, how many subscribers do you have? I don't know, about 647,000 now.
Yeah. They're not going to check it on the spot.
No.
So what if I added 3 zeros?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just tell them, hey man, that's let's do this. I'll plug your product for you all day long. You get free advertising all day long. You got me thinking now, man. I'm gonna have to make something happen. I'll take the silver-tongued devil, Mr. Vahagam, with me. He's
That's
not
a good
only
idea.
he's not only muscle, but he can also make things happen. So I think it'd be a great time. I think we'd have a blast.
Yeah. Vahagam, go ahead, say it.
How much for a booth, my friend?
Yeah. You got me thinking there, Ike. I tell you, just hit me. I think it'd be great.
How much for a booth, my friend? Come on, man. Come on. Don't drive me, man. Come on.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Keep me informed.
All right, man. All right.
And a master class too would be cool, like YouTubers and that'd be cool.
No, I think
that 1 year we missed that 1 year when everybody went. I think Sony had everybody come out. I remember Matt Granger was there, had did some stuff. I met the guy from Art of Photography. I forget his name. He was there. Jared Poland was there. Everybody was there for that because Sony was doing an announcement and they did it the exact same, doing the WPPI like convention center. And so like all of the YouTubers were like there. That was the one time when all the YouTubers showed up.
I think it'd be a lot of fun, and don't count me out, man. I'm gonna see if I can talk somebody into something. I think it'd be a blast.
You'll still see some YouTubers there, though.
I'm sure. But just being able to do it, because how many people will tune in just to see what's going on the floor, on and off. Yep.
So I gotta go.
And Chuck's Vegas tour is sponsored by M&M's, baby.
Absolutely. M&M's, if you're interested. All right, Ike. Hey, man, thanks for joining us. I love chatting with you, man. And I keep checking your stuff out. You're always on. You're burning Instagram up right now, aren't you?
No, well, I just posted just recently, a few days ago, but I haven't posted in a while.
Well, it seems like I get a notification constantly about photo me Ike. I forget how she says it. you can't say it right.
Maybe in my stories. I post a lot more on stories than I do on the feed.
Okay, maybe that's it too. I'm so technically challenged, man. I don't know what I'm hearing in my earbud.
But yeah, no, and I think Nikon reached out to that one kid I told you about from Florida. I think I saw like they were working together or something. They posted his stuff and I'm like, yeah, thank God they found him because
Yeah.
really good.
All right, man. Well, here's hoping you don't have to give back the Z30. Maybe they'll reconsider.
Oh no, I got to give that back. As long as I had, that's probably why they didn't. To be honest with you, I have to be given fair because as long as I had that Z5 when I was supposed to give it back, like they were like, look, you had enough. That Z30 for a minute. Anyways, all right, you guys.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Ike. Good luck on everything you got coming up, brother.
Thanks.
All right. Take
luck.
care. Well, that was an interesting exchange. Always is with Ike. Ike's got a lot of, I mean, it's fun talking to him because his perspective is often very good. Oh, man. Hard to get back into this, actually. I can hear that the lawnmower has stopped, and that scares me because I can't imagine it being finished. So
You ran out of gas.
could be.
Hey guys, I'm gonna get going too. I gotta drive out to Hollyweird right now. But
You picking up some more lenses?
no, I gotta go pick up my wedding files.
Nice.
Oh, there you go.
Only $499.99. I got this deal.
Yeah. So if you're still on, I'll listen to you in the car. All right.
I think I'm going to get out of here in just a minute, Ike, only because Vaughan, only because I got to go check the progress on the lawn now and find out why we have stopped.
Thanks
It's
for
a
having
riding
me
mower,
on.
so it can't be. He's tired.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Nice to see you, Jeffrey, Mosman, Chuck. Welcome back, Chuck, and everybody in the chat. Rock and roll.
All right, rock and roll, Vaughan. And for those that may be in here that don't know Vaughan, I find that hard to believe. Check out his YouTube channel, Vahography. I think you'll enjoy it. A lot of content over there, especially if you're a wedding photographer. A lot of great stories, not just instructional, but what not to do and events and things that he's experienced. So maybe good for you if you're new.
Come on over.
Come on over, my friend.
Subscribe to my channel, please. Come on over. Okay, see you guys. Rock and roll.
All right, Vaughan.
Okay, after that.
That's it. We have nowhere to go now.
I think Vaughan can do commercials for Count Chocula cereal.
Yeah.
Just come over. Oh, the cereal is great.
James asked, are we talking grits yet? Not yet.
No.
I was talking grits while I was away down south because I ate as often as I could at my favorite place, Waffle House. And people will cringe when I say that, but I love Waffle House. And always with the grits. You want grits or hash browns? Hash browns. But anyway, hey, Jeffrey and Mosman, great to see you two together. It's fantastic. I know you guys are going to go out and have some fun with the cameras. Jeffrey Neville, for those that don't know, Selective Imagery. Tell us real quick, Jeffrey, who you are.
Jeff Neville, primarily a nature birder type of guy, but do street photography, macros, and have a channel called Selective Imagery. And stop by, visit, leave a comment. And there's always something interesting to watch. And I can get a little bit talkative, but that's who I am. What can I say? Love it or leave it.
If you've not been over to his channel, it's therapy. Grab a cup of coffee.
Need it after you watch it. You need therapy.
No, grab a cup of coffee or whatever beverage you want. Sit down, relax, and watch his videos on wildlife. It's fantastic. Maz, we got to get you somehow on YouTube, published on YouTube with something. I know you take a lot of photos and everything else, but I know it's not your thing maybe, but.
Yeah, I've got some private videos, but nothing I've put out for public consumption.
Okay, well.
I think about it sometimes, but then I think that, I know how much work it is, and I just don't know if I want to overwhelm myself with that. I mean, you guys that pump all this content and devote so much time to YouTube. It's my hat's off to you, because I know how much work it is.
Well, thanks, brother. It is, even just doing live streams, which is very minimal for me, other than just trying to stay informed about what's going on in the community and be able to talk about it. But yes, it is. It's very time consuming. And I haven't even started the video part of it yet. Don't know whether I will or not, because I enjoy this so much. Just, having everybody get together and chat about stuff. But thanks for jumping in there with Jeff today. And I hope you guys have a wonderful time out shooting. I know you will. All right. So I've got a lot of other links down in the description. Again, go click on them. Check out these people if you haven't before. Frame Voyager, who I mentioned earlier, he's all video. Shoots primarily black magic, but he has some very entertaining videos. He does a news thing once a week or whatever. Very entertaining. And Jeff, I don't know if you got over there to see his radioactive lens video that he put together, but it's informative and entertaining at the same time, which is kind of his hallmark to his videos. But
it's got glowing reviews.
There you go. There you go. Pun intended. Absolutely. But Steve Land Photography, who is, I have him in the description as well. David Moots Photography. I have Frame IO or Frame TM. He's in there. Check out Frames from India. I like Frames. He can be kind of controversial at times, and that's what I like about him. He speaks his mind. But check out all these different people. And if you've got a channel, Jeff and Leslie Wildlife Photography, definitely. I need to start tagging you guys in there. Sorry, I didn't do that this time. James at J-Rod Photo Art, and everybody else that's, you guys send me a comment with your link to your channel, and I'm going to make sure I get all these in there. That's another thing that this channel can do, is kind of help everybody out. I say help the little guy up. Well, I'm a little guy, so but anyway, we'll put it in the description and make sure everybody gets that. All right, guys, it's been fantastic. It's good to be home. I really enjoyed back with the community, and I will see everybody again Saturday night at 9 p.m. for the photo review. If you want to send a photo, send it to my email. AP Studios email is my email, and here it is. chuckomail@yahoo.com. Just make sure it's at least 20 by 2048, 2048 on the long side. So 2048 pics on the long side, whether it's vertical, the long side on vertical, or the long side on horizontal or landscape. And I'll get you plugged in, and then you come back Saturday night and be prepared to talk about it, because we're interested in what everybody's doing out there. There's no subject, no theme. It's just whatever you want to share with the community. And that's about it. Unless there's any other questions from anybody out there, I'm getting ready to pull the plug. Anything from you, Maz, or?
No, I was just going to ask if there was a theme or anything, but you just covered that. So
yeah, we may do that one of these days, but right now, just whatever you're most proud of, throw it in there. I'll throw it up on the screen Saturday night, and we can talk about it. And you're welcome to either call in, and you can see the number scrolling across the bottom, or just discuss it in the chat. And you don't have to be present, obviously, but it's nice when you can answer questions when people ask about your photo. So there you have it. I only have two right now that I can find. That's Jeffrey and Gustavo. So if you guys want to jump in on it, by all means, get it going. I'll accept them all the way up until showtime on Saturday night. All right, gentlemen, I have nothing else. You guys have anything?
No, appreciate everybody hanging out with us and putting up with us for, 3 hours. Good job.
There you go. Well, we held the standard at least.
Yeah.
We still got to hit the 5-hour mark, which we have not. I don't know when we'll do that, but we got to hit the 5. What is it, Maz? 4 minutes short, 3 minutes short of 5 hours, something like that.
Yeah, with all this time off, I've forgotten.
Okay.
Yeah, I just remembered that was a real long show.
It was. All right, guys. So good to see you.
From WPPI.
There you go. Well,
there you go. Yeah.
I'm thinking if we can make this happen, that's going to be an all-day stream.
That would be a new record. That would be, Just keep it going.
Yep.
Pull people in.
Yep.
Try to
Anybody
get all the
walking by.
reps in there from all the companies. Hey, Sigma rep, grab them,
So
lock them in. Don't let him out till he talks and give us an interview. Grab the Nikon guy, grab the Sony guy.
everybody, whoever.
Oh, yeah, everybody. That would be great.
We'll surround them with D5s and they'll know we're serious.
We'll make sure they have like a little bit of blood on them so it has that realistic look.
Greg Wilson just said he just finished the waffle. Man, Waffle House waffles are the best. And Greg, I'm sorry, I need to plug you in there too. So again, you guys give me a reminder so that I can throw it in the description. I'm going to start plugging these in every live stream for people to click on the links and go to your channels. All right, gents. I guess that's it. And it's great to be home and be back and be talking to you guys. And I really enjoyed it. I hope you did as well. Talk to everybody later, and I'm going to get out of here. Thanks, everyone.
Here, guys.
See you guys.